Well, we are back, huh? We're back at the 9 Club, everybody. Today, we have a very special guest. Mr. Jeff Tremaine is with us. How are you, dude? Hey, round of applause.
It's a long time coming.
With the Dr. Octagon show. I just noticed the Dr. Octagon. I used to listen to that dude all the time.
This is my late Big Brother days.
Dr. Octagon.
Classic shit.
Yeah, love that shit.
Mm-hmm. Cool Keith, who fell asleep in Rick's car wearing the rubber Elvis wig. He's like, Rick was driving an Escort at the time. And he's like, man, your car's really comfy. And he just nodded out.
What were you doing?
I wasn't in it. Like, he was interviewing him for Big Brother or taking him to take pictures or something. And then somebody walked in. I think they walked into the Hustler store. I think it was Noracco or somebody told me. And Cool Keith was like sitting on the floor, and he had all the butt fuck videos just all around him on the floor, just spread out, trying to pick which one he wanted.
Like a little kid.
Like, had them all spread out. He's just sitting with his rubber Elvis wig and just like
a little kid at the toy store trying to figure out what he wants, this Hot Wheel or this.
all butt fuck videos. Like
wow.
Dude,
back then, I mean, so that would have been all over social media today.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Definitely.
I mean, this guys,
Someone would have captured that for sure.
Hustler store with butt fuck videos laid out on the. Let's take a photo of this.
Somebody would have captured that.
There's no video stores anymore, though.
Well, there are those kind of stores, though.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, they are. They're still lingering around.
Oh,
Yeah.
And he might be in one of those on the floor somewhere. Yeah. How you doing? Thanks for
Good,
so much
man.
for coming,
Sorry
dude.
about sidetracking that.
Oh, that was great.
Perfect.
Best
Love
opening
that.
we ever had.
Sidetrack away. Love the stories. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of Big Brother, Jackass stuff.
Oh,
but
boy.
yeah, we'll get into it. Before the show, I was about to say something to you because there's so many things that you've done. I mean, you got started with Spike Jonze and BMX, and then skating, Big Brother, but then even to the most current times. And I was like, I didn't even realize that you were involved with ridiculousness and stuff like that. Where it's I don't know why I don't notice that. Does that just fly under the radar? Are you producer on that? You don't seem.
I mean, that goes back to Robin Big, basically.
Sure,
sure.
So, which you had a hand in as well.
Yeah,
right.
So that just Rob and I continued on.
Yeah, it's just weird. Some things that you're maybe because you're in Jackass too.
Well, I lay low. I mean, ridiculousness. They just took off, and they,
did they ever?
Rob doesn't need a whole lot of help. He just
Right.
No doubt.
Man, that's a good man. There, Rob is MTV
Basically.
right now.
It's
He's killing it.
I feel like it's not the only thing on MTV, but when you look at an MTV station, it's the only thing that's playing.
Yeah.
Is it that? Is it that
weird.
one?
Yeah. Well, it's on one of them. I don't know how many they have now,
Yeah.
but it's always on one of them.
It's crazy the amount of shit. But so you grew up in Maryland?
I did junior high and high school in Maryland.
Okay, yeah.
And suburbs of DC, like Rockville, and then Potomac, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
And that's where I met Spike. I met Spike when he was, I don't know,
High school?
before high school. He was probably 12, 13. He was working at the bike shop, Rockville BMX, and I would go in there, and one day, I don't know why he was like a little kid who had a job there. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And it was that was like a family. That was like our skate shop, where just everyone knew everybody. Everyone had a nickname.
Sure.
And I took him out dirt jumping, and showed him how
Oh, you were.
we do it. And
So was he riding bikes at the time? Too?
yeah, he was a BMXer.
Okay.
And then and we started riding ramps. And,
Yeah.
and then we kind of both switched over to skating. I did a little before he did, and then.
Oh.
But I was always a vert, like an old '80s vert dog,
Sure.
backyard ramps.
Did you guys have? Did you have a nickname?
I was Heffy. Yeah,
Heffy.
or Mr. Lump. I was Mr. I was a very unsmooth rider. I crashed a lot.
You crashed, okay.
It wasn't smooth. I didn't, I went big and then landed hard.
Those are gnarly falls on the BMX.
BMX. That's why I switched to skateboarding. Honestly, it was just you don't get tangled up in the skateboard. Like the bike, when you crash, even if you try to ditch it, it comes back and gets you. And it's got sharp things all over it, and it weighs a lot. My bike weighed 50 pounds. It was a fucking heavy.
Jeez. That's what happened for me too. I got hurt on a bike, and I'm like, I'm not doing this shit no more.
Yeah.
I had to buy strong stuff because, like I said, it wasn't smooth. So my shit was
You had to get a reinforced. Lumpy had to get the big bike.
the heaviest bike.
Yeah.
I broke ramps and shit.
What about Spike? Did he have a nickname?
Spike.
Spike.
Yeah.
So he had that nickname.
Adam
for
Spiegel is Spike.
Spike.
Yeah.
Right.
He was Adam when I met him.
And that's crazy that he's had that nickname for that
He was
long.
Spike. He was Spoke. He was
Spoke.
Yeah, it was a
Imagine
bunch of
that. Spoke Jonze.
Why Spike though? Why was it Spike?
because he had this crazy like fuzzy spiky hair. You know,
okay.
I used to just like take him to punk shows back in the early '80s and shit. Like we used to
Amazing.
Wow.
sneak him in if they were.
And you guys are both around 12, 13 years old?
No, I'm older. I'm what 3 years. So I was a senior when he was a sophomore, and he was on the younger side, and I'm on the older side of that. So age wise, so we're about 3-4 years apart.
Which still back then it seems, it seems like a big difference
Right.
back then for
Yeah,
sure.
So I was like the.
So you guys were just kicking it, you and Lumpy and Spike,
Yeah.
just running havoc over there.
Riding Terrence's ramp.
It's amazing, dude.
And then you started skating right shortly after?
I started skating during then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like put the bike down, start trying to figure that shit out, skateboarding, and then like funny thing is like so. Every summer, the freestyle teams would come through, and Rockville BMX was like the East Coast biggest shop, so he would have all the teams come through.
Okay.
And one time, the Haro team was there, and I would work the shows, and Spike was working, so we would work together on those. And then the Haro team kidnapped him. Like, they just took him with them on the road.
Okay.
And so he went on the road, got to know all of them. And then right out of high school, I went to college. And then out of high school, he did that the next summer. He went to with Haro, did the whole summer tour. He got a job at Freestylin Magazine right out of high school. Never went to college.
Wow.
He did graduate high school, I'm pretty sure, but went straight to California. And then when I graduated college, he's like, he calls me right as I'm moving back to DC area. And he's like, hey man, I think we need an art director for freestyling. And so I sent my shit out and got the job. So that got me out here.
How, like, when that happens and you said you sent your shit out, what are you sending them?
A portfolio. I was the art director, so I was
Okay, so you already.
acting like I knew what I was doing, and that, although I didn't. You know,
I feel like that's a theme.
Right.
Like people, even in skate, and
Yeah.
they
Fake it till you
they
make
fake
it.
it till you make it.
Yeah.
fake it till you make it. Like
it works.
I was in way over my head, and I just figured it out. Like
Right.
Did you go to college for that, or just?
I went to college for. I was more like a painter,
Oh, okay.
and my major was actually illustration. But when I went out and visited Spike at the magazine, I realized, shit, this is pretty cool. They got a cool little scene here. And so my senior year, I quickly tried to get some magazine layouts, and I don't know if I saw it coming or not, but like I was prepared.
Did you know Spike was? He was already. You guys.
was work- yeah, he was-
You knew that
yeah.
he was already working out there. Was that one of your maybe things? Was like heading out to LA?
I was hoping.
You that okay?
Yeah, like
Right.
ready to go. As soon as he made the call, I'm like, I'm out.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Wow. So that was Freestyle Magazine.
Freestylin Magazine. I was there for 2 years. It folded. I was freelance for a year, and then Big Brother. Basically.
Big Brother.
Wow.
And Spike hooked that up too. Like basically, Rocco wanted to start his own magazine. He put out that first issue.
Yeah.
He wasn't very happy with that, but needed someone who knew how to put a magazine together. Spike introduced me.
Wow.
So that first one wasn't done by you?
No, the very first one, the little.
Wow,
the
yeah.
little
Oh
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
The binding.
Shiloh.
on it, right?
Shiloh.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
I didn't do that one.
And so when you came into Big Brother, I mean, Spike was there obviously already.
Yeah, I
at
mean, he was
Big
taking
Brother.
pictures. He was World Industry's main photographer, I'd say.
Right. And then when you got in there, did you instantly know, like, man, we got something here? Because it became
No,
huge.
I had no idea. I mean, I was like, fuck it, how do we even start? I knew Rocco wanted it to be pretty radical, and I was
Sure.
into that, you know. But I just pulled from different people I knew, and then Mark McKee, who
Yeah.
knew he could write. Cliver was right there. But we just started staying up all night and
Figuring it
just
out.
started figuring it
Spitballing.
out. Yeah, spitballing.
Wow. Because you guys were, I mean, literally on the edge. You guys were, there were some articles and stuff that were pretty out. Yeah. Like
Dicey.
nowadays, I don't know if those would actually fly.
Everyone says that, right? But then the next thing's coming, you know? Like,
I mean, that's true.
nowadays, but probably not. But then it didn't fly. And to be honest, like there was never a right time to put out a "How to Kill Yourself" article, right? Like
You got a good point.
It's always
Yeah.
been a bad thing to do.
Right.
We were
Right.
just the irresponsible team that did it. Like
I love that. But you were all like teenagers, essentially. Late teens, early
I
20s.
should have known better, but like fuck it. Like
Yeah.
we were just like there was no adult in the room.
But that's what Rocco wanted, right?
That's his whole
No
shit.
boundaries.
Like there's no
Yeah.
adult. He's like not the grown up, right?
So would you get feedback from Rocco, like in the early on? Would he like come in and be like, "This was amazing, bro! You guys killed it," or
No, well, I'll tell you one funny Rocco story. It's
Okay.
like we thought it was a good idea to do the Steve Olson Burning Bible cover,
Okay.
and so had it all laid out. We finally like that went through different skaters. Like Bill Pepper was going to do it, and then he backed out.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like Mark McKee had collected all the Bibles from hotel rooms.
Oh,
It's fucked. So we got Steve Olson did it right. We got the cover, and then I had it all laid out, and then like Rodney came down hard on me for it before it printed. And
Oh,
he's
wow.
Like, this is gonna,
What are you guys doing?
this is gonna bring down the whole company, and like this shit is
This is serious.
serious. And so I'm like, fuck. Well, I don't want to affect World Industries. That's not. We're just being silly.
Yeah.
And so I set up a meeting with Rocco the next day. I go up to his office. I'm like, listen, we wanted to put up this cover, but I don't want, Rodney's telling me it's going to burn down the World Industries if we do.
Literally.
And he's like, why are you bothering me with this? He's like, do you want to put it out? I'm like, well, I did. He's like, well, don't be a pussy. I'm like,
That was your answer. That was your answer.
Dude,
Never-
Steve Rocco's relentless in that sense. He's like, dude, just do it.
do it.
Yeah.
Wow. And after that came out, did Rodney?
I mean,
Obviously, it didn't burn the
I would
company
say
down.
Rodney never liked it.
Sure. Sure.
But what did people think? Were they hitting you up like, yo, what the fuck? Like,
But back then, how were they hitting you up? I
Yeah.
mean, they'd have to write a letter or
I mean,
call.
but Rick started panicking that he helped with that photo. So then we started back then it was like when World Industries looked like that whole, I don't know if you know, but it looked like a POW camp almost. Like it was all like
trees
trees and
yeah.
this Home Depot materials.
Right.
Everyone's office was like open air and fucked, and our desks were just like 2x4s.
Okay.
And we would scribble on the desk, we'd doodle on the desk, and like we started writing like Cost 666 and drawing him with devil horns and
Oh my
shit. So
God.
he started getting so mad, like we would just torture Rick. Like, so-
I mean, it sounds like you guys were having a blast. I mean, not only was it probably hard work, but you guys were probably
hard
just
work.
having fun.
it was our whole life. It just
Sure.
wasn't anything but, I mean, everything. Like we were there all night. He was around.
For
Like,
sure.
Yeah.
yeah, like most of the skaters hated it. They didn't. I think they liked it until they got called out, or everyone was like a little afraid.
Yeah, there was always some weird, like, little mischievous shit going on. I remember my neck being stretched at fucking Back to the City, and I'm in the crowd just chilling, and fucking next thing you know, they stretch my neck. And it just those little small little
They
random
stretched his
things.
neck. Yeah,
Those little
wasn't
random
me.
things.
Wasn't me.
So, I mean,
did
they
that.
always did a little hijinks like that. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Was that the fake? That was the whole fake San Francisco contest, right? Like
I'm not sure if it was a fake contest. It was a Back to the City contest.
Well, we faked it. Like they didn't
then-
do it one year, and we acted like it happened, and we just plucked from
Might have been.
all different years of it,
Oh
and
my
like
God.
photoshopped all the background people, and just did a whole fake contest. Wrote it up like
It's got to be that thing.
Yeah.
It was that
That
way.
might be fucked. dude.
Yeah, I was
didn't
putting
even
like
know.
2 heads on people in the crowd, and just
Oh.
early Photoshop days.
But Dron only noticed his neck.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't notice anybody else.
I'm
but that
sorry,
neck was
Dron.
stretched
I
out.
didn't mean to stretch your neck out. Did you get cheap for it?
It's all
Your
good.
friends fuck with you over it?
No, I mean, I definitely was fucked with a little bit, but it was like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal.
Listen, at
But even
least-
the little deals were big deals sometimes for the skaters.
Oh
back
my
then. Like,
God.
oh,
it was-
yeah.
Yes,
for
no doubt.
sure.
Yeah, we were definitely.
They like to poke a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first office was the first Big Brother office was in the skate park, the World Industry skate park, and so like we would be there, and the skaters were there all night. And sometimes when something bad came out, then it started getting a little tense.
Little situation over there.
And they used to torture Earl. Earl lived there,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, he
so
did.
they
Holy
would
shit.
torture him.
Oh my
Who's Earl?
God.
Earl Parker was like
One of the
one of
writers.
the early writers.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I just remember reading Big Brother as a kid, and like whoever was writing it, I was like, "What the fuck are these people talking about?" Like they would interview the skater, it had nothing to do with
Yeah.
anything.
It was highly irresponsible journalism.
Irresponsible journalism. I love it. But yeah, no, but I mean, not only were you guys on the edge, but also you guys did fun stuff. Also, that was kind of on the edge, but fun. I mean, like Bong Olympics and
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about that.
different
it wasn't
fun-
like I never intended it for it to be mean spirited. Like it was
sure.
always for me just fun. But sometimes we would get a little carried away and we're up late at night. And
yeah.
say the wrong thing. And
Well, I think the fun things
But,
outweigh those
yeah.
things that you're talking about.
we like
that
took
were,
we
you
even
know.
we took Slayer to Disneyland. We did a bunch of weird shit. You know.
That's
But it was-
amazing.
How
I love these ideas.
Yeah,
did you ride the teacups with them? What?
we I don't know if we even got
Slayer
on a
on
ride.
the teacups.
Because Lance and I got arrested. Lance jumped off the monorail station into the submarine,
The water.
Okay.
Oh shit!
in between two submarines, right? So the subs. It wasn't it was right after the 20,000 Leagues. I think it's but Nemo wasn't out yet, so it was a submarine
transition,
ride.
yeah.
But yeah, he just
Into
put
the
it
water?
right into the. There's a little track where they load the submarines with people, and then. And he put it right between two subs, and we didn't know if there was a track right in the middle or not. He's like, "Do you think that's gonna?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know."
Wow.
But we were ready. We filmed it. And we took the tapes out, put everybody on the monorail. They got the fuck out, and then I went down and pulled him out. And he and I got arrested and got thrown in Disney jail.
I had
Disney.
Disney
Oh,
had a gnarly
wow.
little jail down.
Well,
Was it
and you
down?
think it'd be all fun. You think it'd be like rubber bars, like, "Hey, I'm in Disney jail. This is crazy." But it was like a shitty little office with a cage in it.
That's it.
And we were, Lance and I are stuck in the cage, and then they let me go, and then he had to stay there longer.
Who was processing you?
It wasn't as fun as it should have been. Like, I mean, if they're gonna do it, if they're gonna have their own jail, then have some pirates and
Let's
shit
talk.
guarding the gate, you know, like
Amazing.
Constable Goofy.
Fucking Minnie Mouse just booked me.
so good, dude.
So,
Yeah, you always
the
hear
full
about.
experience.
but I think
Yeah.
I don't even think Lance got it. I think Anaheim police came and got him. They filled out a report, and then I don't think anything ever happened with that.
You guys ran that in
We
the.
ran it in the magazine,
Yeah.
and then we put the video footage in the Big Brother documentary that came. It was in the Big Brother video back in
Okay.
the day. Yeah. So
And then.
fucking legend, Lance
I
Conley.
mean,
Man,
dude.
straight up.
I think it was even in the Big Brother sizzle. I mean, the Jackass sizzle tape that we made. I think that was in there for sure.
I want to get to the because the Jackass, obviously.
Jump the
I
gun on
mean,
that.
dude, congratulations on the new movie, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
thank you.
bro.
I watched it. It was incredible. Laughed my ass off for the whole hour and a half.
Yeah,
they're
thank you.
not that epic, 2 hour.
We keep them tight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but you guys did a phenomenal job. It was fucking funny. The intro, the Dickzilla or whatever. I mean, we'll get into all that. It's incredible. But like, so Big Brother's just continuing on. And I love the Big Brother talk,
Yeah.
by the way. It's such a monumental piece of skateboarding history. It's just, there's a place in my heart for it,
No
obviously.
doubt.
I mean,
Yeah,
I grew up
definitely.
on that shit. But then it got rocky at a certain point. I mean, you guys went to Larry Flint.
Yep.
And I can't remember off the top of my head. They sold it to Flint.
Yeah, I think one day Frank came in.
Frank Messman.
Frank Messing came in and showed Rocco what it costs, how much Big Brother was losing for the company every month. He was like the.
How is it not making any
CFO.
money? I mean, this is the premier magazine.
I mean, magazine. You know, we
You guys
were
were
we were
using-
the third magazine, and back then, this was before Flint. Our newsstand distribution was very minimal, to say the least.
But at the same time, you guys pioneered at that time like video grab sequences
Right.
and stuff like
yeah,
that.
right,
So you
that's
were
true.
actually like, which made it that. I mean, even Transworld tried to copy that.
They
Yeah,
did.
at
It's
first,
what
we,
we're saying, right?
first we were just teased because they look like shit.
Yeah, yeah. But they fit so well in your magazine.
But like quality's never been like Big Brother. Even so, back then, like we started off, we had a good printer, and then they saw a couple of things we're doing. Like, no, you can't print this here. So we ended up being printed way out in the valley at the gnarliest porn print shop.
Yes.
It's the only one that would do it. Deep Valley, like out then, like not even valley. I mean, it was like fucking Magic Mountain. Right.
Oh,
further
wow.
out, further
Way
Santa
out.
Clarita?
Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
Wow.
little print shop they used to print the magazine, and they never could get the registration right. So it was like always a little blurry. Like, and we used the smallest type. Like our writers just wrote too much all the time. So
Yeah.
it was like 7-point font, like
Super
out of
small.
registration. So you really had to look at it to read it.
But that was the kind of the essence of the magazine.
Well, it worked in our
became-
favor because then parents couldn't see it; they couldn't read it.
Right.
Right. So they like look at it. I couldn't read that now. Like, I barely can read 12-point type. Like that was 7. Like, yeah, gnarly. So
Rocco was like, let's ditch this ASAP. This is not.
Yeah, that's
going
back
well.
when, like, it was more of a business and
Yeah.
let's move on. So, but it was still our lives. So
Sure.
luckily Flint came along and snatched it up.
Wow.
What does I mean, I don't even know if you could talk about, but what does something like that go for at that time?
I don't
mean,
even, look, I wasn't a part of the sale. And honestly, I don't even think they wanted Big Brother. They wanted Blunt magazine. We were doing Blunt too, which was just
right.
Big Brother for snow.
Yeah.
And snowboarding was the hot thing right then. But as soon as they bought that, snowboarding sort of crashed and skateboarding took off. So really the win was this Big Brother.
Skateboarding, right.
And I wanted to stay with Big Brother. I kind of let Blunt go.
For sure.
And so,
Was Nas art director for Blunt?
yeah.
Oh, wow. Nodis. Shout out to the multi-talented Nodis.
Yeah,
Jeez.
definitely.
So,
Right in his neighborhood. Like,
oh, yeah. He lives in the same house he grew up
Yeah.
in, I think, down in Venice.
Santa
Santa
Monica,
Monica,
right?
yeah.
right up the ocean.
We see him all the time when we're skating the curbs and stuff.
Is he still-
He's still this unicorn that you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God, there's fucking Nodis.
Yeah.
Still probably shreds the curbs too, right?
Dude, he
Like,
does. He's not even skating. He's going surfing, walking
Yeah.
his dog.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you're still like
Yeah.
awestruck.
Yeah.
The best.
So when you went over to Larry Flint, was it very like constricting over there? Did you lose a lot of?
It was just different. Like the funniest shit was like first they tried to control us. They thought we were going to behave like the boating magazine they had at the time or the golf magazine they had at the time. And they put us in the building and they gave us a dress code. They're like, hey, you got to wear a collared shirt and slacks. And I'm like, that's not going to fucking work. And so we kept showing up and getting in trouble and like, okay, but what are you going to send me home? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Like,
well, why is
I'm
that?
not going to change. I don't have the shirt you want me to wear. So like,
Every day,
let us in our office so we can fucking make the magazine. You know?
Wow.
And finally they just gave up and said, fuck it. But we would get in trouble there.
Yeah, I could imagine.
And when we got in trouble, it was like going to the principal's office. You had to go up to the 7th floor, the top floor, Larry Flint's floor. But we never had to meet with Flint. We had to meet with like the executives
higher-ups.
there. And they tried to treat it like a real, serious business. Like, but it's a fucking porn shop. So it's like porn execs, like you're getting in trouble with the porn guys. Like, But in the same sense, I didn't want to. None of us wanted to lose the job, but we were pretty hard to. We were hard to control at that time. We were pretty used to doing our own thing. What sucked is they made us like format it. Like,
how do you mean?
well, we had to like. Big Brother was wide open art direction wise, right?
Yeah.
It was like different logo every issue. All the headers, everything was new every time.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then they looked at one issue and said, this one sold the best. This is the logo. It said skateboarding real big on it, and Big Brother was small. But I was convinced that one also was polybagged with a free sticker inside right at the top. And that's the only time we ever did that for,
Yeah.
So I was like, well, this is why this one sold, but they forced that logo.
So they were handing down, like you said, restrictions.
Yeah.
Hey,
So we were a little restricted, and they said no more boobs.
Okay.
So then we came up with little Mr. Genital Blocker, that little smiley face guy that we just put over all the bad parts.
Yeah.
But
Wait, the porn people are saying no boobs?
no boobs for their skateboard magazine.
They
Yeah.
don't like
okay.
competition.
Yeah.
Competition.
Yeah. But Larry Flint always backed us up. Whenever we got in trouble, I don't know if he liked it, but Larry's a champion of free speech and loves to be in the mix, like loves to fuck with people.
Right. Now, if you never met with Larry Flint, how did you know that he was back? Like, would you hear from
Well, no,
somebody like, oh, hey, Larry loves this? Or,
we would hear from Larry. Larry didn't care about what we were doing.
Okay.
Other than when we got in trouble. And then he kind of liked it because then the news is interviewing him and he's finding out as,
In real time.
in real time.
Yeah.
And then he wants to know what's going on, but he's also like, well, fuck you. It's free speech. So.
Yeah.
So sick.
Is he still alive?
No, he passed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
But you'd see him in the elevator, gold wheelchair, purple velvet, gold plated wheelchair.
I mean, if he's gonna have a wheelchair, it might as well be gold.
Oh man! And if you got in trouble and went up to that floor, it was like all these like super. It looked like Vegas, like super opulent, over the top. Like it was a nice graduation from Rocco to that. It was kind of the same,
Right.
And kind of like it was a nice different chapter. Like we went monthly, so it was like this whole. We had to formatting it helped us in a way because doing it every month and coming up with a whole new concept every month
tough.
it's tough. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
It's a hungry animal.
Wow.
So we had to, it made it a little easier, but in some sense, it took
aspects,
something away from it.
Yeah, because I don't think, if my memory, listen, back then, a year seemed like 10 years.
Right.
But I don't know, how long did it last over at Flint? A year? 2 years?
No, I was there. So Flint bought it in '97.
Okay.
And I left right when Jackass went to series. So I stayed there through the pilot, and that was 2000.
Okay.
So I was there from '97, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
And then it went another probably 3 years, I think.
Wow, I don't remember it going that long.
Yeah,
after
so
they
it
moved.
went for a while there.
Huh. Do you remember how many issues there were total of Big Brother?
Where's Rick? He would know better than me.
We probably said it on the show like
Rick doesn't
numerous
know.
times.
It was
but
it was near 100.
100.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh. That's
Like I remember I did at least past the 50th. So.
damn.
It used to be quarterly when it was at
It
work?
was every other month.
Every other month.
Oh,
But no pressure. Like just
Right.
when they're done. But it was we wanted to put them out
Right.
every other month.
It was
We're all-
it was what?
bi-monthly.
Bi-monthly.
What about the videos? Like, was that when you were at Flint as well?
The first one was before Flint.
Oh, okay.
The first video was shit. And
Love it.
yeah, that one was through Rocco.
Is that when that first video came out, or maybe we even got the idea? How was Jackass even born? Was it a Spike baby? Was
No.
it a collective thing?
It's a collective thing, truly. But
Because you guys had something.
I would
with
say
Big Brother.
I'd say Big Brother #2, the video.
Okay, makes sense.
It's when I met Knoxville. Knoxville came in. We had, I had Steve-O, I had Pontius, I had Wee Man, used to bag our subscriptions. Like,
I love. He told us,
yeah,
yeah.
I used to take him to the mailbox. And Pontius was sleeping on my couch all the time.
Okay.
We met Steve-O on the road, and he was always sending us shit.
Yeah.
But I met Knoxville. He wanted to write for us, and the first thing he wanted to do was try the self-defense equipment on himself.
That was gnarly.
Right. And
Yeah.
so he's like, "Hey man, I want to do this." I'm like, "It sounds great. Let's do it." And then and then he's like, "Yeah, then I want to go out to the desert and shoot myself in the chest with a bulletproof vest on."
dude.
And we're like, "Oh, that's pretty rad." Like, but at the time we didn't have a budget to pay for it. He didn't have a budget, so he used his Christmas money from his mom and bought the cheapest bulletproof vest on the market.
Cheapest one.
And so I'm like, "Listen, you got to film it. Whatever you do, we're going to film it." So I had Meech all set to go, and then when I started like sweating about the bulletproof vest thing. I'm like, Meech, just give him the camera. We can't really be there.
I remember hearing stories that like when that happened, like nobody wanted to film it. Nobody wanted
watch
to
it. Like,
be the
it's
guy.
basically, I think it's Loomis filming, like, and the camera keeps going like,
Oh my god!
like you can hear, "Come on, buddy,
You got this.
you got this."
Because it was like stun gun, dog bite.
No,
right?
it was pepper spray,
okay.
stun gun, taser darts.
Taser darts.
Yeah,
right.
that little-
They stick in
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
and then a bulletproof vest.
Bulletproof
That
vest.
was the
Yeah.
self-defense test.
that was his idea.
That was his
The whole
idea.
thing.
The whole
That was
thing
his
idea.
pitch.
And what was fascinating is when he came back with the video footage, he could talk to the camera. Like, all the other guys were just like, "Oh, boom," like,
deer in
do the
headlights.
stunt,
Yeah.
do the stunt, don't say anything,
Right.
and take it, and then it is what it is. But there's no
There's no dialogue or anything.
no way to connect, And then he was the way in. And so
Interesting.
I put that video together. People loved it. We did there's also like I don't know. I guess the poo-poo platter thing was on the next. I don't know, but
I love this conversation.
well, anyway, like it became obvious. Like I don't know. It was like, I think I can make a TV show out of this. So I talked to Knoxville. I'm like, "Hey, would you want to team up?" And he was like, "Yeah." So then we went to Spike,
Yeah.
and Spike knew what we were up to, and he's like, "Fuck yeah!" And Spike had
He had the ends.
the ends.
Yeah.
Like, one, he was MTV's favorite child, and two, he was already
directing
doing movies. And
Plugged
he
in.
was on his way. So
Sure.
he had the agent, the lawyer, and we set up. So we had like legit. We had CAA and the best entertainment lawyer, and they set up all these meetings. They said the first one was with these two ladies at HBO, and like I put together the sizzle tape. Like, so it was just I plucked from.
Was the shooting in there?
The shooting was in there.
Platter,
There were some of the whiskey videos. I don't know if you remember the whiskey videos from way back. They were snowboard videos that they would like get drunk and ride a motorcycle
bottles.
break bottles over their heads.
Oh.
Put some of that in there. Put some of just pulled from all of the rowdiest shit from our world.
Is this a time too when Steve-O was sending you stuff?
This is when Meech had already filmed him burning his face off.
Oh, okay.
That's the first we met Steve-O's. Meech basically discovered him, and
Great
Chris Markovich.
introduction.
Like Steve-O wanted to light his hair on fire and have Markovich blow
Yes.
a fireball off his head, and then he was going to do a backflip. And Markovich blew the fireball into his face instead of off his head. And so it just melted all the skin on his face, but he still did the backflip. And then all his face started dripping off.
Oh.
And so that's our introduction to Steve-O.
Is that in your pitch deck?
I'd have to go back and I don't know, but we pulled some like CKY shit.
Okay.
We just pulled from all of the best sources. And
What did these execs from HBO say?
HBO. So it was these two ladies, and first like our agent introduced Spike, and Spike's like, and Knoxville and I we're nobodies, so we're just like,
What's,
fuck, I don't know how to say anything.
this is not going well.
And so my agent's like, they have tape. So he put the tape on, and crickets the whole time, just like,
No.
just crickets. Like they didn't react to anything. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess this isn't a great idea. So luckily I didn't quit Big Brother yet. So, and then we showed it to MTV in the exact opposite reaction. They were just fired up.
They loved it.
Yeah, and they were digging into us, so we started talking, and became a much easier conversation.
Right.
And they dug it in there.
But you guys were battling with like Comedy Central or something? Or?
Well, Comedy Central wanted it too. That was nice for us. So
Right.
That just
Little bidding war.
A little bidding
Yeah,
war.
entice
that.
Not a
deal.
major bidding war, but a little bidding war.
Hey, bidding war nonetheless.
Yeah.
You know, at least because I'm sure after like one meeting, this is HBO. Maybe it's not the platform that you should be on, but it could be a little discouraging.
We didn't even know what we were pitching, to be honest.
It was
to be
just
clear,
a
it was just
hodgepodge of-
hodgepodge of just fucking what skateboarders do when they're not skateboarding.
Did you have
right?
a name for it then?
Jackass. Yeah, we were calling it Jackass.
They were calling it, okay.
What about from that Big Brother video? You said number 2 to like CKY. That was my first experience with that whole like madness.
Right.
How did that like Bam and that crew get involved with?
I
Like,
called Bam like when.
Oh,
when
okay.
it started getting serious. I'm like, hey Bam, are you in? Like we wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I was pulling. I knew Pontius. I wanted in. But even the beginning days were just. Whoever's got something fun to shoot, we're going to shoot it. It wasn't like, I know these are the cast.
Oh,
it wasn't
yeah.
that. It was fucking whoever.
Right.
Like, whoever's got something.
Yeah.
Build a
Let's
skate
go.
video, pretty much.
Skate
Yeah.
video. It's like skateboarding without the skateboarding, right? Like skate video without the skateboarding in it.
Got
Yeah.
you. And so when MTV signs on to Jackass, are you now like, okay, what do we do?
Yeah, basically,
now?
I'm like, all right, what do we do? I'm like, all right, do we put Knoxville behind a desk and then he introduces bits? And is it because that's what TV shows are, right? Like
Yeah.
that's how I was thinking. Like,
Late night Knoxville.
and so we start brainstorming like that, and then I pitched it to Spike. Spike's like, no, what the fuck? No, it is what it is. Just go film shit and
Sure.
because it's the exact layout of the Big Brother videos, right? It's just dip to black, big Helvetica title. Something stupid happens, dip to black, next thing happens. You know what I mean? It's like basically, we already knew the formula, but we didn't know it.
Yeah.
We didn't know that would work. But when we finally committed to it, I was also like, and I'm a graphic designer, I like it, but we were no graphics. It's fucking white Helvetica.
Straight, yeah.
It doesn't move. It just fades up, fades. It doesn't, like this is when MTV was so flashy with all the motion graphics and shit. We're like, it's an anti-graphic, kind of, a nod to the old world industry days, really.
Oh yeah, I love that though. I love that. I mean, even back then, it was every TV show had an intro with the theme song, and and you guys were just boom. Here we
Right.
are.
This is it.
I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah, and then we didn't. The formula. It wasn't even. It sort of found itself as hi, I'm, and this is. We started
Yes.
doing that even in Big Brother videos, like. But yeah, it just kind of found itself.
What a journey.
Dude.
So
Yeah.
was Big Brother still going on when when you guys got on MTV, or was it kind of it was.
Big Brother's still happening, and it's funny because I mean, like, I'll go even deeper. Like, we made a pilot. We started making the pilot with MTV, and then we did this bit called the Escaped Convict, where we thought it'd be a funny idea if Knoxville got in an orange jumpsuit, handcuffed, walked into a hardware store, and tried to borrow a hacksaw to saw his handcuffs off. And so me, Spike, and Mike Ballard tried to film it on the one on Western. There's it's still there, Rampage Hardware, I believe.
Okay.
And we shot it there, but our hidden cameras were like Spike's got a little like camera bag, but it's like the lens was dipping down. Like we barely got any footage other than when he walked out, 6 cops made him lay down on the ground right in the middle of Western and had guns drawn on him. And Spike and I are sitting there, like he's filming it. I'm in my little Lincoln Town car, and he's like, "What do we do?" And I'm like, I don't know. So I get out of the car and I go, "Hey." And they're like, "Who are you? Get on the ground." So they made me get on the ground. I'm trying to explain, we're just filming a prank, whatever. But we didn't get the footage, so we had to do it again.
Oh, no.
And now we've got MTV pilot money, so we had a producer so we do it again down at Laurel Hardware, which is now a bar, Laurel Hardware, but it used to be a hardware shop. And so we went down there. Knoxville does the whole thing again, and same result. Like this time, there was a lady sheriff who charges in, jumps out with her gun drawn, but she doesn't put her car in park, so the car jumps the curb, hits a pole. Like it just turns to pure chaos. Like all the guns drawn. I wasn't even there. I was sitting in my fucking office with Big Brother. Like
you're like I don't want anything.
And Spike was there, and Spike saw it happen, and he just got in a friend's car and left. And so we left this poor producer girl just
Oh my!
pick up the pieces. MTV shut down the pilot. They're like, "No, man, you're too reckless. You don't know what you're doing." I'm like, "We don't know what we're doing, but they shut it down." So we're like, "All right, you're shutting it down." So I went and we fucking went and stole all the tapes and held the tapes. Like we're like, "All right, but you don't have this." And the it was a showdown with MTV in the beginning. Like
what happened with the Knoxville? I mean, did he get arrested or
he didn't?
Because
the girl Vina, this junior producer, got arrested. Wow. So she was the only one who got arrested. Knoxville didn't get arrested. He got held up for a long time.
Wait, why?
Because essentially, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just dressed up a certain way with shackles.
I mean, I think there's some thing you could say, like public. I don't know. They could hang something on it.
For sure.
But why did she get arrested?
She produced it.
We didn't have permits.
We
didn't have shit.
So she was she caught the only one filming it?
No, but she was the responsible one, and
okay.
She took it for the team.
She took it for the team.
I take it like later on down the line when you guys get rolling and stuff, like because I hear about this stuff all the time where like they would notify the local police that they're doing something.
That's how we do it now.
And, right. Okay. Okay.
Because ideally, I even have a police officer with us, so if it's gonna,
okay.
So they can call it in and say, "Hey,
because I mean, you guys kidnapped Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Without
permits
at Pink's Hot Dogs.
We didn't know what we were doing for so long. I still don't know that we know what we're doing because I was just with Eric Andre and we had a bunch of cops. Yeah. I still don't know what I'm fucking doing.
I loved it though. I love it.
So amazing.
But there was a lot of stunts. I mean, I would trip out watching this Jackass shit. I would be like, dude, the guy was in a trunk or blood on the front of the car and he's trying to clean it off at a gas station like a hit and run.
That got a lot of cops.
Did it?
Yeah, there's a shot actually. We have a camera that is just rolling, not intentionally, but it was on the seat of the car and everyone had to get out.
Okay.
And guns drawn, like they were laying on the sidewalk and then like 6 cops walked by with their guns drawn. This cool, locked off shot.
Was that in the bit? I don't remember.
It might have been in the credit. I don't know.
Okay.
I think we showed it somewhere, but we had to blur everyone's face.
Oh my God. That's nerve wracking to be like doing these. It's kind of crazy.
Did MTV take any of it? Like, you guys can't put that out.
No, like in the early days of MTV, it was fuck it, just put it out there. Like, we had to have release forms, or we had to blur faces.
Yeah,
I didn't really even know about premise releases and permits and that kind of shit. So we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have a fucking sound guy with us. We were doing it sound. We didn't know shit, and no one told us how to do it.
Like, I love it.
We didn't get help.
Wow. Imagine going up to like 50 cops, be like, "Oh, will you sign this release form?"
I was never the guy to bring up release forms. I'm not a de-escalator, really. So you need a good de-escalation expert to just come in with the release forms.
After a while, though, I could imagine that those guys, I mean, this was on TV now, right? And it was a popular show. And so I could imagine that these guys were getting noticed. So when you're doing these pranks, maybe people were like recognizing them.
We didn't
at a certain point.
Listen, we only did the show. The TV show was 3 seasons long.
God,
and
it
when I
seems
say
like
3
so
seasons,
much
I mean
longer.
8 episodes was a season. 8
You're kidding me.
21-minute episodes was one season, and we started filming the second season before the first season even aired.
Okay.
Like the first season started airing while we were in the middle of filming the second season, and that's like then we got in trouble on the second season. Not for something we did on the second season, but some kid lit himself on fire in
I remember,
Connecticut.
I do remember hearing
And
about that.
Senator Lieberman got all fired up and like, this is irresponsible. Like MTV's head's got to roll. Like they put so much pressure on MTV. That one, season 3, when we were in, we were in the middle of season 3. That they're like, no, we have to figure out how to make this more
Public
suitable.
friendly.
So they put an OSHA representative with us. Do you know what that is? Like, you know what OSHA is?
Like a safety guy?
OSHA is occupational safety hazard, and they're it's basically so people don't get hurt at factories but like, how does that work with a show that we're trying to get hurt, right?
Yeah.
They're like, you can't jump off a ladder higher than 3 feet, you know?
Oh, my
Motherfuckers, like, we just had it wide open. Now you're going to put all these constraints on it.
That's insane.
And Knoxville's like, fuck this. It's like, I mean, so we did this one bit. Sorry about spinning. So we did this one bit. And this was not planned. Dave England hit me with this idea when we were in Florida. He's like, hey, I want to do this idea where I eat the ingredients of an omelet and then throw it up into a frying pan, cook the omelet, and then we all eat it. I'm like, that's a great idea. We're not shooting what we're supposed to be shooting. We're going to shoot this. So we filmed this bit. I thought it was a great bit. It was really gross. Like he and Steve-O just chowed down this fucking omelet. And Manny, for some reason, was there. Manny, our the guy from Wild Boys. I don't know if you remember. Tarzan looking guy.
I loved Wild Boys, by the way.
he was there.
I thought it
Thank
was a
you.
great show.
My favorite thing.
Oh,
ever.
they're so good.
But anyway, Manny's there just laughing. Like it was this huge, hilarious moment in the hotel room. We just put him in a chef outfit, made this stupid thing called the Bomlet. And we submitted it. And this is when MTV's in a full panic. They're like, well, how hot was it when you cooked the eggs? I'm like, I don't know, hot enough to cook the fucking eggs. What do I know? Like, well, it had to be at least 160, and if you can't prove it, then you can't air this. I'm like, what? Are you fucking kidding? So we had to reshoot the Vomlet with a thermometer in there. And then Knoxville, everyone in the background is in hazmat suits. Like, so only he could eat the Vomlet, but but we're still like, fuck you, we're showing this.
We're still doing it.
I'm doing it. 160, everyone happy, like, wow. But it wasn't funny anymore to me. It was just, now that was just us being pissed and
Total, like a fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
Right.
And then really it was Knoxville who quit the show, and then we all quit because Knoxville quit. But we quit when the show was just taking off. Like it was on every night. Like you bring up Ridiculous was on every night. Jackass was on every night, every minute.
Yeah.
Of MTV's. I mean, it was always on, and they like, you can't quit. Yeah, we did. We quit. And they're like,
were you guys under contract?
We weren't under contract. No.
Really?
And we quit. Like even they started, coming up with money. And we're like, no, you don't understand. Like until this, it's not. You killed it. And
you just wanted the regulations to go away, pretty much.
Basically,
right?
yeah. And then
it's like you're picketing.
And so while the third season, I think, was happening, I'm confused on time, but somewhere in there, this guy David Gale from MTV Films came and met with me. He wanted to have a meeting. He's like, you guys should make a movie. This is when I'm in the thick of TV, just before we were thinking of quitting. He's like, you guys should make this a movie, it could be a movie. I'm like, I don't even know how to fucking make a TV show. It can't be a movie because I barely know. I'm hanging on by how to make this a 20-minute show.
Sure.
And again, and then Spike brought up, when we quit, he's like, well, what if we, if we made it an R-rated movie, that would eliminate the young kids from, and it made sense to us. So we decided, all right, we're going to make a movie. We're going to fucking put this to bed the right way, where we have no restrictions. We have a little more money to do it.
Sure.
A little bigger. And then I started thinking, all right, but how do we make it a movie? Now we got to turn it into something else. And nope.
It was still the same. Helvetica font.
Helvetica.
Just keep it the same.
Yeah, same shitty cameras.
I mean, people love the show. Why change it?
We did we had a sound guy finally.
Oh, fuck.
So that helped.
God bless the movie money.
Right?
I wanted to ask a question. Like, I always think about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm like, I always am intrigued by how they write the show, they get together and they write shit and it's random. How did you guys do that for Jackass? Would you guys get together and like think of the craziest?
Sometimes it was getting together, and a lot of times it was just one of us shooting the shit with somebody else, and then it turns into this idea, or I'll have an idea. Knox will have an idea. Steve-O will hit me with, hey, I want to light myself on fire with stilts on, or whatever. All the guys would hit us with ideas, and then the ones that got filmed, a lot of times everybody's kind of had their fingers on it where it's shifted around.
Okay.
I'm sure after a while it becomes another muscle in your brain. Like once you start thinking about, this bit and this, and you start looking at things differently, I'm sure your brain
and even
starts
like a lot of the times we take advantage, like idle hands are the devil's playthings, right? Like we would be setting up a bit that's taking a while. No one had any patience. Like no one knew how to make movies. So like as we're setting up this more elaborate bit, the funniest thing, like Wee Man kicks himself in the head. that big elaborate thing we set up never even made the fucking movie. But the funniest fucking thing in the movie is Wee Man just kicking himself in the head. That happened while we were waiting for that, and that was,
I love that. The behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
There's a lot of spontaneous shit probably that happened.
Spontaneous shit, and once you start filming something, it turns into something else. Usually, we just when the personalities get involved.
I would always trip out because, like, every time, even the behind the scenes, Rick's getting hit in the balls. The camera guys, like, you're taking some stuff like that, and how did you even feel safe being around? You're walking into an office and a big hand hits you in the fucking.
PTSD. Plus, we just finised a movie recently, so my PTSD is at an all-time. Like, I'll go hang out with my 80-year-old parents, and I'm covering my nut, and my back has to be against the wall. Like, it is fuck.
They're like, "What are you doing, Jeffrey? What are you doing?"
I don't feel safe.
Yeah. So, no, I could imagine. Like, you're just on edge.
And the first few movies too would be like we'd film, and then we'd go to the bar. And it never ended. There was no separation other than cameras weren't usually out at the bar. But the crazy shit, it stepped up probably.
You guys are a little hammered. Yeah. Wow, man.
Like I can tell you who peed in my drink by the taste.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, and if I had to choose, I choose Wee Man's pee to drink if I'm going to choose anyone.
What? Sweeter or saltier?
Tastes a little cleaner. I don't know what.
What are they peeing? You're like alcohol. Like your alcohol.
That motherfucker can pee for hours too. Like,
can he?
Oh my God! I'll give you a story. So, I think this is after the first movie. It might be the second movie. I don't remember. But Knoxville got invited to go to. The fanciest nightclub that had just opened. I think it was called Pure.
Okay.
Right? One of those is in Caesars. One of these big,
in Vegas.
Fancy Vegas nightclubs. He got invited. And they're like, hey, we'll private jet your friends out. And all you got to do is just come and show up. You don't have to do anything. And so he invites me and Pontius and Steve-O and Wee Man. And we're flying private. And we're getting put up in these giant suites, like it's fucking. Whoa, this is crazy. We're flying on a private plane. This
lavish.
Is fucking sick. Yeah, like Jackass up to that point was 2 guys to a room, no matter what. You were still sharing rooms at that time.
Okay.
Big brother mentality, right? Like just we don't have the budget. So we got put up in this fancy club, except for and we were in the VIP section, but we were the only ones in the VIP section was glassed off. It was like we were in an aquarium.
Everybody could see you.
Everyone on the dance floor is looking at us, and we're lit up and just drinking and being observed. And we're sitting on these white beds, like it was beds, like everything was white.
Okay.
And it was boring and it was weird. And so like everyone's pressed up against the glass, like up to here, their heads. We're looking at all these people just like staring at us. I'm like, Wee Man, go pee against the glass. Wow. And so he did.
Okay.
And he goes up and he starts peeing against the glass. And as soon as he did, the biggest bouncer just runs over and grabs him and yanks him, but he's still peeing. And so all of a sudden he starts spraying us all down. Like Wee Man's swinging and he's twirling this guy around, and Wee Man is just spraying us down, and all the white beds is getting little yellow streaks across it. Like forever he's peeing. And so the guy doesn't know what to do, and he's got a struggling little dude like just... And so, for some reason, only me and Wee Man get thrown out. Like, I don't even know how the guy knew. Maybe I was just like, hey, put my midget down, motherfucker. So we got thrown out, and then we spent the rest of the night trying to get back in, and they wouldn't let us in.
They wouldn't let you in. What do they expect?
That's what I'm saying.
What do they
Yeah,
expect?
the Jackass
They knew
crew
they were
comes
inviting
in.
They should have lined the whole thing like Dexter,
that
like
would've-
plastic everywhere.
That would have gone viral, I think.
Did you see?
That was
Oh my
be-
God! Look at we made.
that was
Oh, he's getting
before
a carrot.
cameras.
He's spraying piss everywhere.
So we put on a show.
Amazing. So they got their money's worth.
They got their money's worth.
I don't remember the time. Like you said, Jackass on TV was going every. It was the only thing playing on MTV, which the 3 years makes it seem a lot longer when you're always seeing it, right? But
It wasn't even 3 years, like 3 seasons.
Three seasons. Okay.
It was from 2000 to 2001.
God, that is so.
It's over.
Crazy.
It's over in 24 episodes plus the Gumball Rally. It's over.
Oh, the Gumball Rally.
24
yeah.
episodes, and I'd say probably 3 episodes worth of material got yanked for either being too dangerous to imitate, or we didn't have permits, or so we're talking about now, 20 to 21 episodes worth of material that aired on MTV every night for 10 years.
That's what I was going to say, 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the reruns, I would watch it. It was one of those shows where if I'm flipping through the channels and it's on, I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, you leave it
no
on.
matter where it's on, whatever. But was Viva La Bam, that was later.
It was later. So Viva La Bam and Wild Boys popped up after the, because we were done with Jackass. Jackass is over after the first movie.
Right.
So 2003, MTV wants more. So they hit me up. I'm like, I want to do a nature show. That's what you guys need, a nature show.
But a nature show with Manny and Chris Pontius.
like,
And
that's what I was
Steve-O.
into. So that's what I was into. So I pitched, I'll make a Jackass. It'll be fun. Trust me. They're just going to fly around the world and get bit, and it'll be cool. And Bam did Viva La Bam during that same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember Bam was saying that one of the executives was really loved April's reaction to the alligator in the kitchen.
Yeah, I mean, Bam, they'd seen a lot of Bam and his parents. And his whole family dynamic was funny.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
great. It was such a great show. Because I remember the reason why I was asking all that stuff is because I don't know if you didn't even hit your stride at all with Jackass on MTV.
Right.
Because I think Bam was saying that at its height, that he was getting like $300,000 an episode just for stuff. Like just to
Budget of the show.
budget of the show.
Bam from Viva La Bam.
Yeah, from
not
Viva
from
La Bam.
Jackass.
No. That's why I was saying.
Shit, they weren't paying any more than me, and I wasn't making anything.
And that's why I was going to ask, because you didn't even hit your stride. So you
Right.
probably didn't even get up to that. You probably had nothing.
Well.
I mean, you had something, but probably not as much as Bam
Right.
for the budget of the show.
Yeah, no, Wild Boys we didn't get rich off of.
But Wild Boys was so good.
Wild Boys is my favorite thing to this
It was
day.
really good.
I'm a huge Chris Pontius fan.
Me too.
Loved him in Jackass. Always been a fan. I love his reactions, the way his tone of his voice, his demeanor,
Yeah.
his what's the party boy.
Right.
Love it. And then I would always watch Wild Boys. Oh, so
It's my favorite thing. Is traveling the world and getting drunk on indigenous home brews.
I love-
indigenous people's moonshine.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, yeah.
and then whatever animals will bite them. Like, that's it. Like,
How would you even go about doing that? Did you have
I think people didn't like back then. Like, we were just.
animal cruelty type
No,
shit?
it's more like naked dudes. People just,
Okay.
a lot of
They
people
weren't
just
comfortable.
didn't love seeing half naked guys. and so like we really made a conscious effort. On the 3rd season, we were like, I think we'd already been demoted to MTV2 at that point. And
Okay.
we're like, hey, listen, I think the reason we're not cracking is because we're just too naked all the time. So let's try to keep our clothes on. And then we start filming a bit, and I'm like, man, that's funny, but it'd be a lot funnier.
If you were naked. Right.
How many seasons did that go on?
We did 4 seasons. 4 8-episode again. We're stuck in that weird
episodes.
8-episode thing.
It's so weird because it was such a good dynamic
Mm-hmm.
with Steve-O, Pontius, Manny. And how would you even find these places to go travel to? Did you have like...
That's my thing. Like, I
really?
watch nature shows. I was always, from a little kid, just fascinated with animals and weird places.
so you'd be
to
like,
go.
hey, let's go to the
Yeah.
here. They
Yeah,
have...
this is where killer whales are eating seals off the beach. Let's go there.
Oh.
Let's go and do this shit. So.
And Steve-O's jumping in with sharks.
Oh yeah,
and
they're
all-
both everything.
Bro.
Just whatever we could get away with.
Was there anything that you're like, dude, I might watch my friend die right here?
It's been a few. Like,
I could imagine.
yeah, the pilot, man. We found this guy who I'd seen swim. He's the first guy I ever saw swim with a great white shark with no cage. His name is Andre Hartman. This crazy fisherman from South Africa. We were in South Africa shooting the pilot for Wild Boys. And he was supposed to take some Saudi prince out. But the storm hit, and so there was no boats going out.
Okay.
And we were drinking it with him that night before at the bar, and he's like, hearing about the crazy shit we'd already done, like, he's like, you guys come out with me tomorrow. I'm not doing his accent. I don't know how to do something.
Yeah.
But
It's a hard accent to do.
Picture the motherfucker from Jaws, right? The guy who got bit in half, like him. Like, come out with me tomorrow. And we go out on this, and we go out on this, like, it's the most perilous, like, journey to get out there. Like, just, we're the only boat. And when you're the only boat there, there's lots of great whites there. Like, and so constant great white action. He's like, what you got to do is, we've got the cage here. He's like, I'm going to bring the shark over here. When I get it right here, you guys jump on its back, do a cannonball on it, and then get in the cage. And so he got our guys to cannonball onto a great white.
Was he still drunk?
I don't know, but like, but we did it. We trusted him, and Chris and Steve-O did it, and they walked on water to get in that cage. You know, they hit the water, and it was a big one. It was gnarly, like so.
They jumped on.
How did the shark react?
The shark just fucked off. It came back, but I don't know if it came back mad. It came back because we had a lot of food in the water. Yeah, but it was like if you were in the water near that while it's chomping, you know, it's in feed mode.
Yeah.
Right. And if you're splashing around, it's going to take that little investigated bite, and it's huge.
Yeah.
So they had to get in the cage pretty quick.
And you just watched it. You just sat there.
I was on the boat.
Yeah.
I was on the boat. Like, we had this crazy cameraman, Mark Rackley, who's never been filming great whites. He's always wanted to. And so he's like, oh, fuck. And then he swims out of the cage, and they're all like, what the fuck are you doing? Get back. Like, so they almost shut us down just on him.
He
like,
was
he just got
into it.
Got excited.
Yeah, he got so psyched.
Easy, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's calm down.
Did you almost get fucked with by anything on filming those things? Like the random animals coming out?
I mean, like one time we were filming, we were in Costa Rica, and we had this snake called a fer-de-lance. You ever heard of that? It's like a viper. It's like a real fast, super poisonous. It's like a rattlesnake without a rattle. And our snake expert opened the box, and the thing just lunged out, and we had a wall of cameras like you got right here.
Yeah.
And fucking Cossack just turns and bolts, and like he's like a bull elephant, just knocks down all the cameras, me, everybody in his way just got trampled, and the snake's coming, you know?
Oh my god!
Like, fuck, man. Like, yeah, Rick was save yourself. Like,
Sounds like, you ever seen the Seinfeld episode where Costanza's running, there's a little kitchen fire, and he's like tackling everybody to get out of there?
Same situation. Like, all the cameras went down. Me, the sound guy, everyone got trampled by Rick, and then the snake's coming.
Snake is just
Getting bit.
Dude, that's gnarly.
That's scary shit, man. Animals are so unpredictable.
Yeah, I think one of the scariest animals we shot with was, you know what a cassowary is? It's like a ostrich, but like from Australia.
Okay.
Looks like a turkey that's the size of an ostrich.
Wow.
And it has these claws on its feet. It doesn't fly, you know, it just walks around. But it jumps up and kicks, and it's known to gut people. Oh. Like, that's how it fights off predators, and they're mean. And so we had Pontius in this, we had a dog bite suit. And he's trying to go up to the thing, and it starts going. But once it starts going, it's hard to get the fucking thing off. It was real hairy. And Chris can't move around very well in that thing, so that thing's just jumping up and kicking him. And it was pretty hairy.
I think I remember seeing that.
That could have gone bad.
For sure.
Yeah, that was pretty scary. And it was just a bird.
Dude.
It's a giant bird.
What was it called again?
A cassowary.
Cassowary. I almost
Never heard of that. Wow. Yeah. You guys, man, I mean, kudos. You so good. So much entertainment over the years and laughing and it's amazing. I think you know what, when we had Steve-O on the show. When you guys were in the middle of filming Jackass Forever, and I know that showed me right there that you were always thinking about it when you're filming, because he was here and he was like, oh, I got an idea. And he was like drawing out this like helicopter thing. He's like, I got to show this to Jeff. This is going to be amazing. And we're like, oh, should we start filming? He's like, oh, hold on. I got to. So he's always on.
Yeah.
I have that drawing in my office.
Yeah.
What was the idea? Did we shoot it?
It was like no, I don't think it was in the movie. But it was like a helicopter with like a platform underneath.
Was he wrestling on it or something?
Wrestling.
He was wrestling on it.
Above the ocean.
Above the ocean.
Oh, yeah. I think you pitched me that. That's pretty expensive.
You got to be realistic.
I've learned, man, that the more you spend, the less likely it is to make it good.
To be funny.
Like, the funniest shit is the cheap shit.
Yeah. What was the most that you guys spent on one?
The new movie, the opening sequence, like Spike, because Spike took it over, and he was just like, "No, we got to do like just
Movie director.
It turned into this one little thing. Like, all right, so we shot the idea was we're gonna do the Ponyosaurus, dress his dick up like Godzilla, and just run through a little tiny town. So
Yeah.
but it was just gonna be a little bit in the movie. It wasn't gonna be the open.
Okay.
I pitched it to be the opening sequence.
Oh, you did. Okay.
And everyone else thought like, it's going too hard to start with a cock.
Right
You
away.
know, you gotta work your way up to cock.
Right. You don't, by the way, you don't realize it's a cock
And
to begin with.
and
but you
to be
get-
clear, like a long time ago, like it was hard to even in an R-rated movie to get a lot of cock footage.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
So the MPAA cares about how long.
It's
Like
always
I got into the biggest fight. I'm gonna tell you one story and then we'll get back to that.
Okay.
Remind me to get back to the opening story. But
100%.
now that I'm thinking about this,
Yeah.
so we shot on Jackass 3D. We thought it'd be funny if I think it's Knoxville pitches a ping pong ball or spits it out of his mouth, and then Pontius is dressed like a baseball player, but he's naked. And he swings his wiener, hits the ping pong ball, and it just goes flying. And then Bam tries to catch it with his mouth or something. But we shot it on a 3D Phantom camera. Yeah, we just took 3D down to the stupidest level it's ever been. Like the most expensive camera ever made. A 3D Phantom camera that's shooting. So it's two Phantoms that are synced up.
side by side.
Ultra
And
slow-mo.
yeah, and it looks so cool the way his wiener just hit the ball and it kind of flexes around. You know, it's just like, the ball is going. It was so awesome. And then we sent it into the MPA like, oh no, that you can't have penis on the screen that long. And so I sped it up sped it up.
Okay.
And then they're like, no, still too long. We kept resubmitting it through Paramount. I don't ever deal with the MPA, but Paramount did. And the MPAA is who gives you the rating. You get an R rating or a PG.
Okay.
It's a whole.
a whole
I don't know
thing.
who they are. They're anonymous. But
Ah, interesting.
it's a group of people that's responsible for rating movies.
They weren't giving you a time, like, hey, penis can only be
They
on
weren't
the
giving
screen
that
for...
until like finally somehow our Paramount reps like, all right, they're only because I'm like I can't if I speed it up anymore, it's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not funny in real time. It's only funny when you really get to study.
Yeah, the slow-mo and the...
And so
The wind up.
the whole thing, it's just so satisfying to watch, even though you're like looking at the guy's dick, but it's so fascinating. And so I'm like, I'm not going to speed it up anymore. It's not funny anymore. So it turned out like they're only comfortable with 10 seconds of penis.
Okay.
So 10 seconds. I'm like, so I timed it out. I'm like, oh man, this thing doesn't even get started in 10 seconds. So we put a big black bar over his dick.
Okay.
And then, just for the best part, the black bar just can't keep up. So the dick comes out and hits the ball. And then the black bar catches back up when the ball starts flying.
That is genius.
To the frame, 10 seconds.
That is genius.
Don't take no as an answer. You know what I mean? Just stick with it. Like you got to find your way around a no.
That was a great
that's-
solution.
That's
Yeah.
genius.
Roadblocks aren't stopping points. They just go around them.
Oh my God. Because there's a lot of penis in the new movie. Was it just
God
one?
bless the MPA where they are right now. Let's keep it that way. Like,
They maybe went from 10 to 15 or 20 seconds.
I think the pandemic hit and everyone was just watching from home and their kids were making noise. When this happened. I don't know.
They
I love
Stretched
that
it
I wonder what they thought when they saw it. Like, oh, these
All right.
motherfuckers got around this shit.
All right,
You got to
so
see this, Jim. Bob, come here. They're sending in another tape.
Let's see what they
Come
did
on,
now.
yeah.
I don't, but our Paramount guy got it cleared when that 10 seconds. So fast forward 10 years to us finally coming back together and making a new Jackass movie, and we're gonna shoot this miniature set with Pontius's dick going down the street, attacking a little town. And I thought this would be a cool open, but no one believed in it, so we just built a cheap little town, and I'm talking the street was grip tape, and then we cut a little slot. So Pontius is like got his dick pressed up under the table, and we're sliding him down this slot, but like his dick's out, and it's getting fucking hacked by two edges of grip tape as he slides down the street.
Honestly, it doesn't sound that bad to compare to what else you guys
Right,
did.
but that's just part of. But it ended up being we shot this version of it. You'll actually see on Jackass 4.5. It's in there.
Oh, okay.
The original version.
Gotcha.
And halfway, like right when we put his dick through for the first time, both me, Knoxville, and Spike just started dying laughing. And Spike was like, it's not even offensive because it's just so funny looking.
Yeah.
It was kind of cute. Like, and
It's
so
painted green. It's
and so I
like-
repitched. I'm like, and we were having all kinds of problems with the low budget setup. And so I'm like, well, why don't we cut our losses on this and use this? This is now proof of concept. We have something to show Paramount. We can actually get it pre-cleared.
Okay.
Like, will this shut the movie down? Will we get an R rating if we do this as the opening sequence? And we had enough to show.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said, yeah, I think you can get away with it as long as it's green and it's never erect, whatever. You know, there's other rules.
a lot of stipulations on the penis.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but that bit just took off, and it was expensive. Like, we had the best miniature guys. We had the guy
God.
who puppeteered the Stay Puft Marshmallow. He was doing our puppeteering. You know,
We had like things and people, Wee Man and them flying across the. I mean,
people want to do shit for Spike, right? Like,
Yeah.
like they want to.
I'm sure.
So you get all these great, talented people,
Yeah.
like working with Chris's penis. Like,
It was amazing. But it also turned into the whole intro with the spewing the.
Oh, yeah, like,
I mean, the whole.
yeah.
thing.
Then once it became the open, then we're thinking, all right, let's have it kill all our guys.
Well,
That's the theme, and so
You definitely set the mood for the.
it's funny
the
because,
movie.
so then we cut it, and Spike and I got in a huge fight over the edit.
Okay.
Like, I didn't want to reveal it until the end when the turtle bites it. That was the first time we were going to see that it was Chris's penis. But Spike did a cut where he revealed it.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd seen Steve-O get killed, but then it was Chris. Like, all of a sudden, you got behind the wall. You got to see behind the scenes.
Sure.
And so I'm like, that is not the way this should be cut. That's your instincts are wrong. And so I had my cut, he had his cut.
Uh-huh.
And so we screened them. We did a test screening for the movie. And I said, all right, well, let's test mine and let's test yours. And we test them simultaneously. So you could go from one theater to the other. And we filmed it.
Okay.
And he was clearly right. Like, it was black and white. Like, mine was quiet. His was rowdy. As soon as people were in on the joke, they loved it so much fucking more. Like, I thought it's clever to hold off and don't reveal
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
But no, you let people in on it, and it was just a party.
That's so interesting. I mean, to me, it sounds like you had a good idea because, yeah, you reveal
What I'm
it.
trying to say is Spike's smarter than me.
I'm just saying.
So
In that situation, it worked out.
It worked out. But it's weird, though, because I could see where you're coming from, though.
right.
That whole surprise.
No, and that was like me and everybody, the editors. We all were like, "No, this is wrong. It's got to be."
Really?
And we were all wrong.
Wow. Spike is a genius, though.
He has a secret
Yeah.
sauce.
He is a
Got
secret
the
sauce.
secret
man.
sauce. So, but he turned that into the most expensive thing I've ever been a part of.
Really?
So every time he opened his mouth, $1 million would just fall out. Fuck.
I think he knows he could do it, too. That's why.
For sure.
Man, that's such a blast. And how was it coming back and doing Jackass Forever? I mean, it's funny. We're in the internet age.
Right.
And, you know, when you guys announced it and everything, you heard like, oh, man, they're too old now and this,
Right.
it's not going to be as funny.
But
and
that
this
was in
and
my
that.
mind
Like,
too. Like,
oh,
that's
really?
not just their mind. Like, it's funny. Like, so usually when it was time to do a movie, well, at least the second movie, Jackass 2, Knoxville was with us. We were in Russia shooting Wild Boys.
Okay.
And we had set up with these like Russian special ops soldier guys this obstacle course where they had like rubber bullets and they had these vicious dogs. And it was just supposed to be, the dogs were supposed to scare you. You run through, you get like electrocuted as you run through this wired thing, and then they were going to shoot us with rubber bullets.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, that sounds a
And
great
so
time.
first thing we do is we test. I made them. I learned this. Here's another Knoxville story. I'm going to give you a story that leads in back to my story. So one time, this is the only bit that I shut down during Jackass.
Oh.
Knoxville on the old internet bought beanbag bullets
Okay.
that they shoot out of a shotgun, and he wanted to get shot with them. And this is TV show days, you know, he had like 3 rounds
Uh-huh.
because that's we didn't know. Hey, production will pay for it. Let's get 20 of them. We got 3.
Okay.
And so he found this stunt guy that was willing to do it. And so he's lining up. We drew a target on his stomach, and I'm like, hold on, like, I want to shoot one before we.
Let's test this.
Let's test this.
Truly test it.
Yeah.
And so we went and grabbed a watermelon. and put a watermelon up on this little pedestal, and there's like a piece of plywood behind it, and the thing it didn't even move the watermelon. It just went right through the watermelon, right through the plywood behind it. I'm like, all right, get the watermelon.
Yeah.
But getting through the watermelon and then through the plywood is fucking gnarly.
Wow.
I'm like, hold on. And I'm like, we got to do another test. So I'm like, I put plywood up, big 2 sheets of plywood up. Dude fucking shoots it right through the fucking plywood. I'm like,
Both sheets.
I'm like, whoa, what are we doing? Like, and Knox like, look, we only have one more. We're here. Let's just do it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, am I the only one watching this?
It's gonna go right through you.
He's like, let's do it. And I'm like, no, let's not do it. Like, you do it. I'm taking all the cameras. You're not, no one's going to see it, but you and this fucking stunt band do it if you want. Like, fuck this. Like, first grown-up decision I made.
I think it's pretty
3
fucking
years.
easy. That's an easy decision, I'd say.
I think you saved his life.
But it's you probably did
Jesus.
save his life.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Maybe.
that thing would rip right through him.
Fuck, if it's going
Look,
to
right-
plywood like that.
Put it this way. I've stopped being the grown-up and put him in many perilous situations
Sure,
since. But,
sure.
So anyway, wait, what were we
Oh yeah, there was another story.
It was
being
the
old.
Russian going.
Oh, yeah, the Russian.
We're in Russia,
Yeah.
which is a story leading to. I'm going to give you a story that leads to a story that gets us
Okay.
to where we were.
We'll try to remember where we're at.
So we're in Russia for Wild Boys. We're shooting this stupid special ops obstacle course, and part of it is you get scared by these vicious fucking dogs that look like demons from hell. I've never even seen that kind of dog before. I don't know what they are, but they were vicious.
Okay.
And Knoxville gets there and he's like, well, the dogs are going to bite us, right? I'm like, no, it's just going to, I'm like, fuck, let the dog bite me. Like, let it bite my leg or something. I'm like, all right, whatever. Fuck, bite your leg if you wanted to. And then get shot with a rubber bullet. And so I'm like, all right, but we're going to test this rubber bullet.
You've learned your lesson.
Yeah, I've learned my lesson.
Sure.
Set up the fucking piece of plywood. Boom. Little rubber bullet goes right through the fucking plywood. I'm like, motherfucker, you're not getting shot. If you are getting shot by this rubber bullet, you're not doing it on fucking MTV2 for Wild Boys. We're going to fucking make another movie. If you want to fucking go, then let's go. Like, why are we on MTV basic, like, very deep down the list?
Right.
Like, and so I bullied him. I'm like, fuck this. All right, this is the last episode of Wild Boys. We're going right into Jackass 2.
Okay.
And he did. He was into it. So
He did it.
That's how Jackass 2 came about, because we were done with Jackass, remember? Like the first movie was the end. Mm-hmm. And then now it was the end. Jackass number 2 is the end. And
There
then,
wasn't even talk about doing the number 2.
not from us.
Wow.
No, fuck it, it was
Okay.
dead.
Jeff, have you thought about doing a Wild Boys movie?
I thought about it a few times,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It feels like too much time. Like, we just kind of put it in Jackass.
That's a lot of traveling, right?
Do
It's
it
like-
on Nat Geo.
Yeah, I don't know.
National Geographic.
It would be fun. I would like to do that, but I don't know. Would it be weird with a plot? Does it need a plot? I don't know.
I mean, Jackass didn't have a plot.
I
Except
know.
getting fucked
Jackass
up.
is bigger than
Yeah.
Wild Boys. Wild Boys didn't get the numbers Jackass
Yeah.
got.
That's surprising because I really enjoyed the show. I thought it was great. I love travel shit too.
Me too.
I
Like,
love
look,
it.
I
love
thought
it.
it's the best thing.
And
I
then
ever,
here these guys
to this day, I think it's the best thing I've ever done, but it doesn't mean it's the most popular.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I wanted to ask about Chris Pontius because I am a big fan of him, but like I never knew where he came from or how he got involved with all of this. He said he was on your couch, but like how did he come in?
So Chris, first ever was a photo in one of the early magazines that Dave Carney shot, or maybe Dave Carney shot it, but Thomas Campbell submitted it, and we were doing a lot with Thomas Campbell, and then I met him. They did an interview with him that got us in all kinds of trouble with Danny Way. He talked all this shit because I guess Danny Way stole something from his little brother,
Okay.
and so he put this crazy interview and said some shit, and Danny Way got super mad at us, and long story. Anyway, so I know Chris, and then he's so funny. As soon as you meet him, you're just like, I love this guy.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And so from then on, he was like my little brother who would just stay on our couch. And
So he grew up skating, right? He grew up
he's
skating.
a kick-ass skateboarder.
Yeah, I saw he posted some photos of him in
Yeah.
that magazine you're talking about. But that would be awesome to get him on the show too.
Oh, dude, I
Yeah,
love Chris
sure.
Pontius.
If he's-
I was actually, listen. The movie was great. It was phenomenal. But there was a part of me that wanted to see more Pontius Is there a reason why? Like, what wasn't he?
You like looking at penises.
No, dude, party boy. His demeanor and
He's
his.
He's the funniest dude. Like I don't even like Chris to get hurt. I just like Chris being right next to this action, and he says the most funny fucking shit.
And his laugh,
like he makes a dumb bit great,
dude,
by just being there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're talking about, all right, how does Jackass Forever happen?
People were like saying
it's old. And,
yeah.
And so this is the first movie. Knoxville calls me up. Like he was doing shit. I was doing shit. I just finished the Dirt and the Eric Andre movie, Bad Trip. So I was beat down. I'm like, I need a break. And we have a breakfast. We just go meet. And he's like, I think I am ready to get the band back together. I'm like,
let me breathe.
All right, let's do it. And then yeah, I had no idea. So he came to me with, that's the first time that I remember him thinking, let's do it again. Oh. And it's 10 years later. So I'm a little leery of it. Just, is it going to be funny? A bunch of fucking gray haired guys. Well, he didn't have gray hair. He had black hair right then. When we had that breakfast. And so we pitched it to Spike, and Spike's like, I don't know. Spike was super skeptical. And Spike came up with the idea. He's like, why don't we do a 2-day, make Paramount pay for a 2-day shoot, and then we don't promise anything else, and we look at that and decide.
See what we got.
See if it's funny or if it feels, as Spike said, sweaty. He was worried it would feel sweaty. And we all were. We're like, is it funny to see a bunch of old dudes kick each other in the dick, right? That's the question that needed to get answered. And so we put together some young guys to go with them. We knew we wanted some new blood. And we shot this 2 days. And I swear to God, as soon as the cameras went on, the magic was...
It was right there?
It was right there. It was obvious. Spike was there. We all just saw it. And we shot those 2 days. And we used everything we shot those 2 days.
Oh.
In those 2 days, we shot the...
I was going to ask.
Penis getting mushed with the 2 pieces of plexiglass.
That was incredible, by the way.
Right. That's just biologically fascinating.
It's on the new one.
Yeah. It's like we took Chris's dick and we took 2 pieces of plexiglass and just screwed them down so it got perfectly flat. Your dick can get flat. Wow. And it doesn't hurt.
And he was fine.
He was fine. It doesn't hurt. Wow. You could do it. Anyone could do it.
How did you find this out?
So we have a big...
I'll do it right now.
We had a producer from Wild Boys who would always send me... His name's Al. He would send me the worst shit online. He would always send just the most horrific...
Yeah.
You know those guys, right? This is the worst thing that's on the internet right now. Here it is. And he sent me, it was like a photo of a guy with his dick pinched in this fucking... I'm like, we should try that. But we gave it a little... So we made it a little paddle ball. We put a little rubber band with a little red ball. So once we got it all pinched in there, you could play paddle ball with it. But it's strictly... It's not even that funny. It's just fascinating.
Yeah.
Right? It's just biologically...
That you can do that.
Fascinating. So that was one of the things we
Okay.
shot. The human ramp, the first thing in the movie,
God, that looked brutal.
we shot the musical chair bag with Dyrdek.
Dude, that was fucking funny. Wee Man got tossed.
He got tossed
like
also,
no other.
That was the second take.
Okay.
In the first take, we had a nice cushion. Because there was all this pipe that the chairs we had the chairs in a circle, and in the middle of the circle was all the mechanical pieces for the compressed air, all metal, sharp.
Yeah.
And so we put a cushion over that. And so to reload it, they go in and they had to get to those pipes, and no one put the cushion back. So when Wee Man goes perfectly half backflip, head first right into the fucking hole. Oh, nothing covering the sharp pipes, and just clank.
That was one of the ones where I had to rewind it because it was so funny. I watched it at my house, but just watching him get shot through the air. Oh, it's hilarious.
Was he all right?
He was fine.
Yeah, he's about that.
Gotta watch the movie.
I know, I'm going to.
Yeah, so you guys knew the magic was there. Away.
Right away.
Amazing.
And it's just...
I think you guys did it. It was there, for sure.
And I think we didn't intend for this, but just with the pandemic hit right when we started. Mm-hmm. We filmed 1 week. Mm-hmm. Knoxville's got black hair.
Yeah.
We're shooting. Pandemic hits. We think, we'll be shut down for a couple weeks.
Right.
We're fucking shut down for 7 months.
Crazy.
During that time, he couldn't get his hair dyed like he'd been doing for 30 years or 20 years. So he comes back and he liked it. He liked the way it looked great. It looked great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but you should dye just because we have half the movie. You you're gonna have black hair and have, or who knows? Because
Yeah.
we don't shoot in order. We just once you get it, you just chop it all up and
Yeah.
The
sequence
continuity
It
is not
works.
there.
it. Yeah, but who fucking cares?
No,
The continuity
totally.
doesn't matter.
Totally.
So some scenes he's got black hair, some he's got white hair. Like,
And that's a funny thing is like, you know, he gets shot out of the cannon, you
Yeah.
know, into the water and stuff. I mean, are you testing stuff? 'Cause I guess movies are bigger budget, the better safety people maybe. I mean, are you
we have safety advisors. No one tested that. The guy shoots himself out of this fucking cannon
Oh, okay. Into a net probably.
into a net. We had to go and modify because Knoxville couldn't fit in there with the wings, so we like went and remachined it. So we fucking didn't test it. He just
You
like,
remachined a cannon.
Point it.
The human cannon.
listen, we don't want to do this more than once, so just fucking turn it up and let's go. Like,
I love it.
and so
Wow.
So you're saying you brought on new talent as well. How did that process go? I know you brought on Jasper from Odd Future.
So I did Loiter Squad
right.
and knew Jasper. We did another show called Jasper and Errol's First Time. I love Jasper. Like I
Yeah,
love all
he's
those
a good
guys.
dude.
And so
His
we
dad's
didn't
amazing.
reach very far to get the new guys.
Right.
Like we had like Knoxville did a movie with Eric Manaka, this other kid who he wanted to bring in, so we brought him in. Jasper Poopies was somebody that Trip Taylor, one of our longtime producers, had done stuff. I almost did the Jamie O'Brien. I'd met about doing the Jamie O'Brien show and saw Poopies was their little test dummy. I knew he was a cool kid to bring in.
Yeah. And you brought in skaters too.
Right,
Like Nick Merlino and Jaws.
Yeah. Brought in those guys, and we brought in this big guy named Zach who had done a show on MTV. He'd been on Ridiculousness.
He's a
bunch.
funny dude.
He's funny.
Yeah.
The only one outside our box was Rachel, who Knoxville showed me a bunch of her stand-up. She's just funny.
She's funny.
And I'm like, I don't know if a stand-up comedian is going to work, but we brought her out, and she just had the right spirit. It just fit natural.
Oh, and I thought it was great having like a woman's
It was great.
energy.
Yeah,
in
we
there,
always
too.
wanted that.
Yeah.
But she had a great natural. It was everyone who lasted were the ones that just were fun to hang out with and just were so natural.
It was natural.
Dude,
Yeah.
Scorpion Botox was insane.
Scorpion
Yeah.
Botox. Yeah.
So
That was good. Yeah, we were talking about Jasper, and then you got his dad in there
oh yeah,
to
His
do
dad's
the
nuts.
was it a scorpion?
Tarantula.
Tarantula. They were
Yeah.
trying to blow. The back
It's such a
and forth.
chaotic day too.
Oh,
Like so,
dude.
we knew like look, his dad, Jasper's dad's name is Dark Shark. Well, that's what he named himself. And
Dark
that's what we
Shark.
call him. I know him as Dark Shark. I don't. His name's Compton, but I don't even know his real name. I know him as Dark Shark since Lawyer Squad.
Okay.
And so he's like anything on the streets, he's not afraid of. You can pull a gun on him, knife on him, put the biggest dude in the world up against him. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You put a little tiny bird in the room with him, fucking melts down like just pure.
But that's gold.
Yeah.
That's
So
gold.
like I know anything we put him in, it's gonna be funny. Like
Yeah.
so we decided to do this tarantula helmet where we have these two big bubble helmets connected by a tube. And we didn't even state what the rules of the game are. We just knew that Aaron was scared of it and that Dark Shark scared of it. We taped them to the chairs and they had to blow the tarantula into each other's.
To keep it away.
And so Aaron got the tarantula, he blew it and it went into Dark Shark's helmet. And Dark Shark just blacks out and he's like super strong. So he like rips the tape and grabs Knoxville and grabs the bug wrangler guy.
such a good
and he's
scene.
got a clamp and he's blacked out. He's like in just a pure fear lock. And Aaron the loser had to take a bite from the tarantula. That was the whole thing. And so Aaron's psyched because he won in his mind. But we were never going to fucking bite Dark Shark. But the it was good enough that thing's running around in his face and he's just in a pure, like,
Now you're gonna
about
make
to have a
him-
heart attack. So we're like, and the winner is Dark Shark. And Aaron's like, how did he win?
I remember he was he was causing a fuss. Yeah.
We laid him down and we fucking made him get bit. That's
Dude.
that's scary. Those
Dude, and you guys had a close up of that,
yeah.
of just the going in the skin and
Lance Banks came through with this little snorkel macro lens.
oh
and
my
got in there.
god, bro! I love Lance Banks. Spike's been working with the same people forever. It's fucking great.
Yeah, we all have nice team.
Yeah.
They got Rick here.
Rick,
We got-
yeah. So many great bits. I mean, we could sit here and talk about every single bit.
So good.
The one that was good too, that I was laughing at, was the electric piano bench
Yeah.
with Tyler the Creator, and then they made you sit on it,
Yeah.
and
That
you
thing fucking shocked. Like, so the floor was electric, to be clear.
Okay, they were
the
dancing
idea
on it.
is Tyler's supposed to be playing piano while the guys are dancing on an electric floor that's shocking the shit out of them. Now, the floor shocked them some, and their canes were, they didn't know this, but their canes had shockers in them too. And those hurt. But the floor wasn't getting them as bad. And then we tried to surprise Tyler by putting a shocker in his piano stool. And he fucking caught it.
He caught it.
He caught it. And he's like, what's this? Yeah, like, but then he got caught up in playing the piano, and he knew, like, I'll just try it. It's not going to be that bad. He sits in it, and it fucking goes.
You got him. Bro.
I got it, but then he did it again. We put the chair back, and he fucking got shocked twice. He, like, kicked it into Lance, broke the thing. And then he made me sit in the fucking thing. And it hurt.
It hurt. Do you often get in positions like that? Like when you would
prefer not to.
Drag you into the shit?
To be honest, like, one of the downsides of doing the new movie is that I'm fat and old and needed a new hip, so I can't outrun them anymore. Like,
okay, you're stuck.
I'm stuck. Like, yeah, they can catch me, and so I can't. You know, like, I basically have to have a tranquilizer gun just to shoot them to fucking keep them from getting me. But so I got more than
you got
normal.
Okay. Yeah, it's
because usually I will fucking.
You're gone.
I'm gone. As soon as we get it, I know we got it. I'm gone.
You're always
like,
wearing sneakers.
I've got my sneakers on. I've got a rental car right behind. I jump in the car, drive away until the next scene.
Keep the car running. Is it devastating when like you set up a whole bit like that and you're going to shock Tyler the Creator and he catches it?
Yeah,
it's got to be a little devastating.
That sucks.
It's got to be like fuck. But he still
and we had to promise him we weren't going to fuck with it. We totally like laid it on
fingers
the line.
crossed.
Like to his manager, to we lied to everybody. Yeah, Tyler. We will not. We just want Tyler because he's so famous and so nice to come in here. Bullshit. We're gonna fucking shock the fuck. But he caught us. He's hard to get.
I love the bits, but I also love the behind the scenes antics because there was a little bit of behind the scenes
really
right there.
There is no behind the scenes in our shit, right? Like it's just one thing.
Just goes.
But what I mean is like I got to see Tyler fucking around with you guys and you guys sit in the chair, you get motherfucker, you get it. You know, it's like I like to see that. You know,
it's funny because that's the evolution of Jackass. Not that you get to see that, but the evolution is the line has gotten much more dramatic. There's more cameras, more people. So that line it just used to be a couple guys with video cameras.
Right.
So when it spun, it's just your buddy filming. It didn't feel like it's all one thing. Now it feels like it's behind the scenes because there's a line now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It does feel,
but we don't change the way. It's all everyone is fair game,
right?
You know, like this shit can spin off. I don't know where it's gonna go, and I don't care what it looks like.
Oh my god!
Just, if it goes over there and it looks shitty, that's where it's going.
Dude, I know we're probably missing some monumental stunts in that movie, but phenomenal, bro. Yeah. I was dying the whole time.
Thank you.
From beginning to end, I loved every minute of it, man.
Well, it is the most full frontal male nudity
there was
an R-rated in a non-pornographic movie. I swear to God.
Ever.
We got, I don't know what happened, but there used to be that 10-second rule. Out the window.
Wow. Things have changed.
Out the window.
What were you guys were going for the rated R.
You're always going for the rated
rating.
R. Yeah.
Right. But you could have gone NC-17 almost.
Didn't intentionally have so much penis. It just, we are. What's funny to us is now just lots of cock.
I think we should talk about this one last thing we could talk about many more, but Johnny Knoxville, I think it was at the end of the movie, knocked out by the bull.
Yeah.
That has to be some scary shit.
That was scary.
He's not young. Even if he is young, getting knocked out by a bull is scary, but you know, he's an older gentleman now. And he had a bull incident early on too.
He's had a bull incident in every fucking movie, but this one
was gnarly.
This one was gnarly. And keep in mind, like, what you don't see is like that was his second take.
No.
So the first bull just drove right through him, like right into the ribs, right into the wall, like just crushed him.
Oh my God. Okay.
But it didn't look spectacular. So he gets up, he's like, "Do we get it?" And I'm like, and he's like, "God damn it, I know we got to do it again." Like, he was hoping I would say, "Yeah, look great, we're done."
Right.
I have to be honest with him. I'm like, you know, we're here. We've got a backup magician costume. We can clean you up. But we're going again.
God.
And he knew we were going again. And so we went again. And that bull just like, I don't know if he timed it wrong where he kind of unweight when the bull hits you so you fly.
Oh,
but
interesting.
he kind of went a little early. And so when he was coming back down, the bull hit him and it was like just a pinwheel, like a super hard velocity. Instead of going up and losing some of that energy when you come down, and that's still risky because you're going to break your neck or whatever. But this was like, It was like taking a Barbie doll and just slamming it on the desk, right? Like it
was
and
gnarly.
hit head first. The first thing to hit was his head.
Oh.
And usually we're in a nice soft bull ring. This was like where he hit. Most of the bull ring was not as soft as it should have been, and where he hit was like cement.
God. So he was knocked out for.
He was knocked out for at least 2 minutes, like snoring. Just scary. Yeah, creepy.
But you guys obviously have ambulances there. And
Yeah, we
stuff,
had an
and-
ambulance.
Yeah.
And when we have an ambulance, if we're fucking paying for it, we're gonna use that damn thing. Like, just kidding. Safety first, people.
So he was okay when he woke up. And
He wasn't great. No, he had to go. He had like a severe concussion. I think the bull before is the one that broke his rib. He had a slight wrist fracture and
Blood on the brain?
bleeding on the brain.
Ooh.
Maybe a skull fracture. I'm not sure. It was pretty gnarly. He had to spend a couple days in the hospital, and he was fucked for a while.
He's a.
It took a while for it to rewire.
It
and
did
reconnect.
Was that his last skit for the?
That was the last. You know, it was funny. We were supposed to shoot another bull bit after that, which I knew we were never like. If you're going first, it's over, because the other guys were supposed to dress up like flowers and stand there while a bull runs around, and it was a stupid idea. But like, I am not gonna be able to get anyone else in a bull ring after you just took a dinger like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't get them in it. All the guys know. Maybe the new guys would get in because they're dumb, but like the old guys are not gonna fucking get in a bull ring. No one likes bulls.
And
Only
plus,
Knoxville.
I feel like it kills the mood too. When somebody gets hurt, even in skating, like a
Right.
skate
Oh,
session,
yeah.
like you're
Yeah.
kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
we're
no, it's
done.
over.
This
Yeah.
is
Hell
this
yeah.
is
No,
this
it's
is,
over.
We're
Yeah.
good.
But it was over before it started. Like like I said, like bulls are gnarly, and they always do the same fucking thing. They try to kill you, and it works. Like
Dude, Johnny Knoxville is he loves getting hurt. He's a trooper.
He's like the only one that has that kind of bravery. Like the bravery all the other guys have is like when they're pretty much in control of how they're going to slam. They, it's still gnarly, but they kind of have more control over the situation.
Right.
He's the only one that can get into a truly no control, just stand here and hope for the best. And it's bad, like.
Because he's gone on to do like Action Park and Bad Grandpa and like other movies where it's like he's doing his own stunts and getting fucked up.
Right. And even the Big Brother video, he
Big Brother,
got
yeah.
hit by the car. Like,
Oh my
just
God.
Fucking gnarly. The car was going way too fast. We didn't have a stunt person.
He had dropped down Hollywood High, didn't he? Didn't he go down the rail?
Yeah, we set him up on there. He tried to grind.
Got smoked.
It's weird, huh? Do you ever trip out on that guy? You're just like, what is it? Dude, he just loves it.
He loves it.
He loves it.
I've just known him for so long. It's not weird to me. Now I just try to figure out, all right, let's get him hit, but not try to keep him alive.
I mean, let's be honest.
try to
Like,
do it as safe as possible.
yeah, but like the normal person just doesn't want to get hurt.
Right.
Like it seems like he's like like thrives on it. It's like his adrenaline.
Yeah, in his mind, he has to take a couple dingers
right to make it like.
yeah.
It's going to be a strong, good movie because of
Oh
this.
my God, bro. Well, so Jackass 4.5, is it out or coming out
I think
soon?
it comes out tomorrow night, I think.
Really?
Tomorrow night.
Oh, I can't wait. Wait, is it in
It's
the,
on Netflix.
okay.
Sick.
Wait, Netflix.
4.5.
I watched Jackass Forever on Paramount.
Paramount Plus. Yeah, but for some we did a deal a long time ago with. I don't know. It's on Netflix. So
Love that, bro.
We'd be able to watch the Forever on there on Netflix?
That's on Paramount.
Forever's on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, that's what I watched on the.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Or you can
good.
buy the Blu-ray.
Hey.
Okay.
You have a Blu-ray?
Blu-ray.
I still got one.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do I ever use it? No.
What about your Laserdisc?
Laserdisc is long gone.
Oh.
That format is, gone.
Shit. So, what are you doing now? Are you chilling? Are you
I
taking
just
a break?
finished shooting. I took a break. Mm-hmm. I've been doing puzzles and shit. The most boring shit in the world.
1,000 pieces or 500 pieces?
I did it. Fucking Casa gave it to me for Christmas. A 3,000 piece
Nice.
3,000 piece.
safari themed puzzle. It took
Okay.
so fucking long. It broke my brain on that stupid.
And at the end, you had one piece missing.
And usually that happens.
That's
like, I
fucked.
got them all. I did it. But anyway, I was so boring. And then Eric Andre asked me to direct his hidden camera stuff for season 6 of his show. So I just got back from filming that.
What's the show called?
The Eric Andre Show. Real
Eric Andre,
creative
yeah.
title. Very
As many podcasts these days.
super
The
smart
Jerron
show.
Wilson Show.
Yeah, it's a very
Tremaine show.
very smart show.
Big fan of Eric Andre.
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
way.
it's the best.
It's great.
Didn't you did the show where it was like half real movie, half prank movie? Is that one?
Yeah, well, it was all pranks.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a story.
It's a story
I
with
didn't
prank.
direct that, but I produced it. I was with him all the time on that. So yeah, we did. It's called Bad Trip.
Yes,
That's on Netflix.
that was a good one.
And so the director of that wasn't available for him. Like, so his TV show is like a talk show for half of it, and then the other half is him out in the streets doing fucking crazy shit.
Right.
And so his director's out doing, his normal director, Kitao Sakurai, is doing a huge movie now. And so Eric asked me if I'd do all the street shit.
Sick.
And so it was like getting back to just the dirty days of Jackass, right? Like just shooting shit and getting cops called, all like just,
Amazing.
and I'm like just hiding in the van, like fuck that. We had 20 cops, like
Really?
in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Fun dude, talented
Yeah.
dude. Big fan.
Yeah, he's the best.
I love, like you guys had him on set and we're hitting him with the
He's just the
Cop.
same.
He's-
Like
he's
all the
great.
guys, you know when it's, we all come from the same bloodline,
yeah,
basically, right?
for sure. But yeah, I think it's fascinating because you have been involved in a lot of stuff. I mean, like the Dudesons in America.
Yep.
That was a fun. I like those guys.
I love those guys.
I think
They're
they
the
were
best.
great.
Yeah.
But they kind of disappeared.
They're back in Finland. They're
Are
doing
they?
this shit.
They're doing it?
They're actually producing a lot of cool shit that isn't.
Isn't seen over here.
They did like
maybe?
a mountain climbing survival show. They've done all kinds of
Wow.
shit.
They were great. I love those guys.
Yeah, they're great.
They were funny. Their accents and everything. It was this kind of a
Yeah.
whole package.
You know the craziest thing I did?
Hmm.
It's like this. I directed the safety video for American Airlines. So when you set up American Airlines, they show you the safety video.
You did
Yeah.
that?
I did that.
Wow.
The one with the girl on it? That
The one with the
talk-
girl that talks. And, it's probably the most viewed thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And somebody thought, like, you know who we should get to do our safety? We're the biggest airline in the world. You know who should do our safety video? The Jackass guy. Like, because when you think of safety, who do you think?
I know. Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Like,
I fly American Airlines, and I watch that every single time,
Yeah.
and I'm always like, the
like
hands
nothing
come
I've
up.
done. Nothing I've done is more viewed than that, right? Because they show it on every plane. It's been going for 6, 7. I don't know how when I did it, but a long time ago. And it's on every airplane that they fly, and
They're still running
they're
it.
still running it. Like
That's
they're
amazing.
slowly-
Do you get royalties
No, I don't
for
get-
the every?
No, fuck, I wish.
Can you imagine?
No, but I'm just so. I think to me, it's just so funny, like that I got hired to do that gig. I was so in over my head on that one, but like
It must have been so out of your wheelhouse. Almost.
so out of my
Like,
wheelhouse and so fun and like.
But it
just,
turned out
like,
great because we
How do they
didn't know
hire
that.
me to do like? Where it's like a serious safety. You have safety's important.
Oh yeah.
And, like,
Oh,
yeah, but it's like you could tell it's a big production though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
I was like, what? Other ones just like people standing in front of a camera telling you
Right,
to do
right.
shit.
Yeah.
This one I was like, what?
Yeah.
The? All these people are walking around like, what is going on?
So that to me is just like just the feather in my cap that I'm so proud of, just because it's so
the opposite ends right there.
the opposite end, right? Like yeah,
Out of his whole
Jackass
career.
and the American Airlines safety video that had to get approved by so many fucking people.
I'm sure.
You didn't
Details.
try to
like-
sneak like a cock in there or something like that, you know?
And I was in so like just trying
That
to
wouldn't
just
work.
stay afloat. Like
I'm just kidding.
That's funny, dude. But that's awesome, though. I mean, you've been like not only in skateboarding, Big Brother, but you've been involved in so many stuff.
I
You know,
like making
Rob and
shit.
Big.
Yeah, just-
Ridiculousness, Fantasy Factory. Like
Oh, Robin Big was amazing,
these are
dude.
these are
Thank
you know
you.
iconic shows of our generation and
How did
From
you?
he-
how did
other
the talk with
generations.
you and Rob Dyrdek? Like, hey, we got to do this.
Well, all right. So the Rob show, back in the Big Brother days, Rob and I went on. We did a Big Brother Mardi Gras tour, which was one of the most insane. We just put 2 15-pass vans full of skaters and the Big Brother staff, and we drove from here to Mardi Gras to New Orleans, and it was insane. And Dyrdek and Dwayne Petrie, Scotty Conklin, so he had his little alien guys, and then we had like Simon Woodstock and Karma Toshif was on that
Oh,
show,
wow.
which is
Sick.
rad. Like, just
Okay.
so we, who else? Like Steve Barrow was on.
interesting. Gotcha.
Yeah, it was a crazy random group. Ed Templeton and his wife.
Wow.
Like,
Okay. And his
yeah,
wife.
Yeah, like
Random crew.
yeah, having to find vegan food in in the deep south. So they would disappear for hours at a time. But yeah, it was a crazy fucking like. But Rob and I bonded on that, and then he did the DC video where he introduced the world to Big Black, right? But that wasn't what did it. It was when he did the Gumball like a couple years after, a bunch of years after we did it. And he did it with Ruben Fleischer, who's now a big time director. Just did Uncharted. He's done a lot of cool movies.
Oh, okay.
Ruben directed that Gumball movie, and he honed in on Rob and Big were riding in the car together, and he thought they were just so funny, so natural, and so they came back from that, and Ruben's like, "You should talk to Jeff, man. We should make this a TV show." And so Rob's like, "Yeah." Like it was all of us were like, "Of course, this is a no brainer. Like it's the real reality Odd Couple, right?"
Sure.
And so yeah, I just threw everything I had at MTV. Like, we're gonna make this show. I don't know how, but we're gonna make it a show. Like,
and then what happens after that? Do you get like a writing staff, or because I mean the show's probably not scripted, but they have to go do things.
it really, like, we got lost in making the pilot. Then we brought in this guy Shane Nickerson, who had done a lot of like other reality, more like scripted style reality, and he helped us a lot. He really helped find Rob's voice in that, and and then Rob took over. You know, Rob knows what he wants. Like he's
for sure.
He's full of creative juices. And so
I feel like though with reality shows, you need somebody to script what's going on.
Right.
You can't
that kind, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like
all of it. You need some sort of device.
Yeah,
Jackass,
MTV's not going to give you money if you don't have a plan.
yeah, Jackass isn't a bunch of dudes just standing around and waiting for someone to come up with something funny. We have it all planned.
Right.
We don't know what's going to happen, but we have plans.
But even for that kind of reality show, like there has to be some type of story. Like they're going from A to B to C, and they're finishing at D. Yeah. You know, it's like the whole thing.
But in the early days, we didn't know the formula. We found a formula that worked, and then we carried it all the way through Fantasy Factory.
Great show, and the Fantasy Factory, amazing.
All of them were great shows.
Bro,
R.I.P. Chris Boykin.
I know, man.
He was a good dude, man. He was cool.
Yeah, it must be fun to work on stuff like that. Is it exhausting though? I mean, producing or directing or putting all that stuff together.
It is like, I don't know. It's it's as fun as it looks, right? Like I just love making shit. I don't care if I'm the producer or if I'm the director. Like, I just want to make shit all the time. Like documentaries, just want to make. I don't want to put a million things out there.
Sure. Does do you ever work with Spike? I mean.
Just on the Jackass stuff.
Just on the Jackass stuff. Okay.
And then anything I'm doing, I show him and get his input on. And
yeah. Because you've done like 30 for 30s, Matt Hoffman.
Yeah, he helped on that.
Like he did. Okay. Yeah.
There's a 30 for 30 with Matt Hoffman, and you did that one. That's sick.
Yeah.
Check that.
That's one of my favorite things. That's a really good. I love Matt so much. So.
Yeah. And those 30 for 30s are
gnarly.
Yeah. We did one. Knox and I produced one called The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Did you ever see that?
I think I saw a little bit of that.
It's about this like outlaw West Virginia coal mining.
Yeah.
Crazy people. Just so like.
How do you find these things? What do you? It's in your nature shows again?
No, Knoxville turned me on. There was a old documentary called The Dancing Outlaw that aired on PBS. And it was about this guy who was a mountain clog dancer named Jesco White, whose dad was like a famous mountain clogger, but he also thought he was Elvis, and he lived in a little trailer, and it's so crazy. So there's this little 20-minute PBS doc that it was a VHS tape that we used to watch. And then after, I think it was the second Jackass movie, we were in a little bungalow in Paramount. We had a little office in Paramount. And one day Knoxville comes in, he's like, dude, you're not going to believe it. I found the guy who filmed all the Jessica White shit. And he told me he's got tons of footage from before that. And so we thought, oh, well, let's get it all transferred and look at it. And maybe we put out like a Jessica White archival documentary. And so we hired, his name's Julian, we transferred all his footage. And then Knoxville has a best friend growing up named Storm who had filmed Jessica recently for Vice. And so we put Julian with Storm and said, all right, we'll go out and film Jesco for a week and let's see where we come back. And then we'll put all this old shit around it. So they come back with the craziest fucking footage. Like insane. And like, holy shit, we forgot all about the old shit and then just sent them back out. And they kept coming back with the crazy. And so we ended up with this psychotic.
Like, what is this?
What is it? But it's fascinating. And they're lovable, dangerous people. Like
Lovable, dangerous.
They are.
I want to see this.
Yeah, what
No,
what
right?
exactly are they
Wild-
doing?
The wild and wonderful. They're doing drugs,
Oh.
and they're super charismatic. Just
Yeah.
fun until it's not people, right? So
One thing I definitely need to talk about. We just had Jason Lee on the show. His part in Blind. Let me tell you that was my first skate video I had ever seen. That was the year I started skating. Very impactful for me. Loved every minute of that video. Guy Marano, Jason Lee. But you did Jason Lee's song.
well, we didn't do it for Jason.
But it was your band.
My band who practiced at Rocco's house every day.
Okay.
And yeah, like Spike just put it in the video.
You didn't. What, did he get your permission? Did you know?
Oh,
he was
yeah,
one of the-
yeah,
okay.
Of course.
Okay.
What was the band?
I also did the Mike Vallely song from Rubbish Heap.
Wow.
Ah.
So I've got two, but that one didn't take off like the.
I was going to say,
Jason Lee
because
one.
the Milk, the knife song.
Right.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, the
It
Jason
just
Lee
went
shit
so
killed it.
well with this part.
Could you sing it for
It's
us?
so weird because I had a hard time watching, like just thinking,
Really?
like people aren't gonna like this. It sounds
Hell
shitty.
yeah.
Wait,
It does.
were you
It does sound a little shitty though.
Yeah,
Why?
well, it was recorded shitty.
You were just recording it like. with
no,
the-
we recorded it like on a 4-track. It was just
Okay.
not
Okay.
the best we could do.
You were
It
the
was
singer,
amazing.
or were you?
I was the singer.
Oh no way!
It's about a girl.
Yeah.
It's about a man. It's about the world. So good. But these are the
World
things.
tour, world tour coming up.
These are the things that.
Jason and I are tied together for life. I don't know Jason very well. I love him, but I
Really?
don't know him very well. But
That's that part.
our
that
careers
song.
are tied together
Man.
because
I'm
of
telling
that.
You guys should work together on some sort of movie or something. That'd be
That'd be
awesome. Gets-
The biopic about Milk. He could
Oh, yeah.
play me recording the song for him.
Well, he's got to audition.
Yeah.
He doesn't just get it.
No. He's got to. It's about a night. It's about the world. I love it.
You
I
sound
love
like
it,
me.
dude. You don't know that video is ingrained in my brain.
That apparently,
Well.
cut through to a lot of skaters at
Dude.
that time. Like it was funny because none of you guys knew when we did Big Brother. It was like somewhere out, like years into it. Mm-hmm. I don't know who figured it out and then hit me, and then I became everyone's like, "Oh no way!" Like you did the Jason Lee song, fun.
Yeah. I mean, at that time, that was the shift,
Yeah.
the blind video,
Right.
and then everything after that just started going so fast.
Yes.
I mean, you had the Plan B videos
Yeah.
coming out like back to back each
Right.
year. You know,
Right.
virtual reality, questionable, whatever. It was moving fast,
Right.
And I think that was a video that just really accelerated. Boom! Here we are in this new. So it was a monumental video.
No doubt, man.
what happened to the band?
They broke up.
We broke up. We performed live once at a BMX contest where Matt Hoffman. I have a photo of Matt winning that contest, like in Anaheim, and then we played on the Flat Bottom and did our only. We did 2 live performances of that, and we opened for Todd Swank's band down in San Diego at a house party.
Okay.
That's the only 2 times we ever played live, and
Did you play the knife song?
we played the knife song twice
got it,
probably
got
because
it.
we only had 4 songs, so we just looped back and did it
Encore,
again.
you say? Encore? It's about a world. It's about the
I remember we were getting heckled by Dan Sturt at that party, like just hating on us.
Hey, not a bad guy to be heckled by.
I
let me
mean,
tell you. Okay,
whatever.
he's iconic in skateboarding.
Right.
But
So, yeah, that was fun.
So good.
Milk.
Milk.
Who would have known? Love that.
Rock and roll. I just missed the boat on just cashing in on my rock fame.
If you would have done one more show,
One
maybe,
more.
that would
Yeah.
Could have been.
catapulted you.
Right.
Listen, I became a fan. I didn't know who you were. I didn't know who the band was, just like many people, but loved the song.
Loved it as well.
It was one of those things where back in the day I would record on the tape the skate video so I could listen to the soundtrack.
Oh wow.
And it still had the skate noises in it and everything, but
Right.
I had the whole skate soundtrack and the.
But because like songs become iconic to people through
Yes.
that, like, and movies too. I've learned that. Like
100%.
that was like doing Jackass. I wanted to always like just these are the punk rock songs that mattered to me, and it was so fun for me to be able to put music and like pay homage to shit that I liked back.
For
Like it's
sure.
already outdated. Like
Yeah.
I'm putting 80s shit in, and it's 2000. But like,
Dude.
this is what mattered to me, and it works. Like
Oh, even the.
Yeah, fucking Minutemen.
That's. iconic.
Yeah.
That just those 4 notes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's just that's Jackass.
The opening shit.
Yeah.
You know exactly what that is. When you
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's Minutemen. You
That's
said
the Minutemen.
And
Knoxville keyed in on that. He's like, this needs to be a theme song. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's perfect.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And you just took that one. That's from a full song.
Yeah.
would
We just
imagine.
made it. We just took the beginning and the end and married them together.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Oh, I love little details like
30
that.
seconds.
I love
30 seconds. Perfect.
That's
It was the opening.
Corona
And then it's
song.
just a sting, right? Then it's just a wow, 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 let it trail off.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that, man. I love
So
finding out
simple,
little
but so
tidbits.
good.
I know.
Yeah.
I love it, man. So you said you worked on the Eric Andre stuff. Did you rap that? Or
Yeah,
you-
that's done. That's his shit. Like I
Okay.
just
You just helped out.
yeah
with
helped
the
out, but it was
directing.
super fun.
Yeah.
That's his shit.
What about anything else? We got anything else?
I'm always got shit coming. I don't know.
Yeah?
What, nothing to talk about yet. But
Oh,
like,
okay.
got irons out.
So you
Irons
working-
in the- got stuff in the works. We'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. Got spokes on the
Got-
in the fire.
yeah.
Nice.
Actually, we might be doing another Shark Week. We're trying to figure out
Ooh.
we did a Shark Week. I don't know if you saw it last
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
We did an episode of Shark Week,
Mm-hmm.
and it went bad. Like one of Poopy's got bit on the hand by
Oh,
one of our young
I do
guys.
remember that. Yeah.
Like could have taken his hand off. It was cut all the tendon. It was
Oh.
dang. It was fucking gnarly.
What kind of shark was it?
It was
Do we
a
know?
Caribbean reef shark.
Okay.
Happened right in front of me. I got a good look at it. And
Dude.
well, who thought it would be a bad idea to set up a ramp in the middle of the ocean and chum in front of it and try to do the Fonzie water ski jump over the shark? He crashed.
okay.
And then the shark came over and
Shark came over and got him.
got him. But so I've always wanted. I'm a huge nature buff guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I told you like Shark Week is huge to me. So last year when they said, "Hey man, you want to do a shark?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah, Shark Week, Shark Week." They hit me up this year like, "You want to do Shark Week?" I'm like, "No." Like no, do I? Like it was fucking traumatic to be there, see the.
Yeah,
And
I
so-
can imagine.
I'm like, all right, well, maybe there's a way to do it, but I don't want my guys to get bit this
a
time.
shark safety video.
Shark safety video.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
No more water skiing, guys.
Hey, but
Not doing that.
those Shark Week are huge.
Yeah.
They draw
Definitely.
a lot of viewers.
They draw
and,
me
like,
every time.
What month
Yeah.
is that usually?
In July.
July. Okay. I'm coming
Sharks.
up
I
here.
hate sharks.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of sharks.
Sharks are awesome, but you know what? Like even little ones, if they bite you, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like whatever they
100%.
bite comes off. Like
in chunks.
They're little saws,
Man. Is there anything? Nah. I was gonna say like, what's your favorite Jackass or something? It's hard though. They're all your kids.
Yeah,
It's
I
hard
know.
to pick a favorite.
I think number 2 is my favorite movie,
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it in 25 years, so I don't know if that's the case.
Right.
In my head, it is.
You gotta watch it again.
Like I watched the first movie. I finally showed my kids, and I was only gonna. They'd never seen anything. They're like, they get mad at me, like, "Daddy, when are you gonna make something we could see?" Like so everything I make is shitty. Like
You can't.
not for kids, right?
Right,
And
right.
so when this movie was coming out, I'm like, I think they could watch the first movie because I didn't have any way to show them the TV show that's not on, and
Sure.
I don't have a VHS player. I think that's the only thing I have. Maybe DVDs. I don't even have a DVD player anymore.
Those things they're not on YouTube or anything.
Probably, but
Right.
MTV's pretty strict.
Yeah. Right.
yeah.
But I decided I'm just going to show them the movie and I'll just ride the fast forward button. And so we start watching and I just never pick up the remote. We just watch it, car up the ass and everything. Like, and it's so funny because like, for me, that first movie is so soft now compared to what we'd put on. Most of that would never make it into the second movie, especially. That was just everyone's ready to die. You better be ready to die. Anything that
Yeah.
isn't life threatening doesn't make the movie. Like,
Oh my god.
but the first one, like my kids thought the funniest thing ever was Wee Man putting the traffic cone on his head, and just walking around the streets of Japan. They just thought that. Okay.
Well, they probably know, how old are they?
I'm sorry, 10 and 12.
I just remember watching stuff when I was a kid. I didn't really understand what was
right.
going on,
Right.
really,
For
like
sure.
fully, I don't know.
But you know what's funny? I can relate to that because like I always thought those bits that you put into Jackass where it's just like Preston and Wee Man in diapers like,
Right.
running down the street.
Yeah, little
And there
power
was no
punches.
just
Yeah, yeah.
little. There was nothing to it. It
Yeah,
was just a
I've
funny
learned
thing.
it can't all be
Right.
Like if you, as soon as it's like that, it gets more. It's rad, but like you have to have lulls to
Yeah.
get the highs. Like if
Right.
you try to make it high, it just gets flat.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
So you got to have those little dips, and even if they're not to my taste. They are
Come on,
palate
ride.
cleansers.
Well, they're just
There you
fun,
go.
you know. Like you said, like there was nothing to Preston and
Right.
Weeman. It's just a
Right.
funny. They're running down
Yeah.
the street. People are like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And they
These
also
two diapers.
they love the air horns on the golf course, and I love that. I do
Those
love
are-
that. Like that. That's
Just
fun
trying to
me.
fuck people.
That
Oh,
holds up.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, yeah.
dude,
that-
people get. I mean, they're serious.
People
They're golf
Golf
enthusiasts.
is
They're
You
serious.
constantly hear that fucking horn, you get so pissed.
Yeah.
For
Oh
sure.
my god, bro!
What do you like to do when you're not working?
I just have an air horn and I just go. Sneak up. I told you I do puzzles. I'm
Puzzles.
boring as fuck. I
3,000-piece puzzles.
no,
No,
I'm
less.
never doing another 3,000.
No, that's
fuck
fine.
that. It just took too long.
How long did that take? Over a month?
Man, yeah.
I mean, that's constantly
Christmas
working on it.
until last week.
Oh,
shit.
What?
You just finished
I don't
it.
know. It took
It's like
forever.
putting together a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
So-
luck. God, I like puzzles though. I'm a big fan of,
I as
of
well.
stuff like that.
I-
Sure.
You know,
I can tune out and do something mindless.
Right.
I have a long capacity for that.
Hey, I think it's
Nothing wrong
healthy
with that,
though.
for sure.
I think it's when you got to play, but you also got to
Right.
downtime.
Yeah.
You know, you got to
when your life's going like this, you got to have these moments. Like,
for sure.
Those are like little reset moments, but
Yeah,
comforting
totally.
for yourself.
So Jackass 4.5, we think it's coming out tomorrow, which will
think it is.
be
A couple of weeks ago.
A couple weeks ago.
it came out a
This
couple
airs.
weeks ago. How'd you guys like it? Was it great?
It was great. Oh, it's amazing, bro! I loved every minute of it. So different from the movie. No, I don't know.
It's weird because they're not doing any promo, so it's just going to come out.
It's just gonna come out.
Yeah.
Hey, Netflix is, you know, it's
They
a
have
good-
their
They have their
machine.
way. They
It
got
works.
yeah,
It works.
Love it.
Everyone sees their shit.
Yeah,
So, and they, it's real organized how they put it right in the top little menu. You
exactly.
just, what do I want to watch? Oh, that looks good. Boom. It's
Boom.
on.
There you go.
You get a
I always,
suggestion for you.
Yeah.
I always trip out on Netflix too because like I'll cycle through. I'll see something like say Jackass 4.5, and then I'll cycle through again. It's a different thumbnail.
Right.
It's like, and then it's like a different thumbnail.
And those
Every-
thumbnails are aimed at you.
yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, they're all like there's analytics to the thumbnails that you get or the trailer you get. Like I did the movie The Dirt for Netflix, and like everyone got a different little thumbnail based on their profile.
How many thumbnails are they making?
Well, some like if my wife was watching on hers, she would get like a thumbnail that probably had like Tommy and Heather together, right? Versus I would get like somebody throwing up or like same movie,
Right,
But
right.
she gets the romantic photo and I get the gross.
But I'm
photo,
just
right?
curious when something like that, do they say, okay, well, this is going to be on Netflix. We need like 15 thumbnails. Or
They just
they do it.
they do it all. Yeah, they just
That
pull it
intri-
from the
is that
photography.
interesting?
It was great. Like they were actually really their marketing team was
I
awesome.
can imagine. Wow. I mean, they do have a beast over there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a well-oiled machine, it seems
No
like.
doubt.
Because they draw me in to certain shit.
Yeah.
They took a hit recently, but they'll be all right.
Yeah, yeah.
But so do you work at Paramount or work for them? I don't know, because when I was trying to get you on the
All
show,
the Jackass stuff is married to Paramount. Like,
Okay.
they're partners. They own it with us.
Right.
Okay.
So can't do Jackass without them.
Okay. But then you basically can go outside and do
Yeah.
everything.
Outside that, I don't have any deal with anybody.
Okay.
Yeah. So 4.5, I'm
4.5.
excited because I thoroughly enjoyed the Jackass Forever. So good.
Appreciate
I've
it.
always been a fan of,
Thanks,
of
man. I
you
appreciate
and
it.
Likewise.
and the whole everything you've done. I mean, you've shaped a lot of people's childhoods.
No.
Yeah.
Think about that.
And you kind of
Think about it, yeah.
To be honest, you brought skateboarding to this different level,
Yeah.
where it became more accepted in a weird way. Where it was like, I don't know, being a bunch of skateboarders. Is
What's so
cool.
funny? Like people were always acting like Jackass was so innovative. I'm like, not if you're in skate. If you come from skateboarding, it looks like
It's just everyday things.
it's all we're doing.
antics.
We're making a skateboard video.
yeah.
Right.
Right? It's just another skateboard. It's not anything original. We're not doing anything original.
Totally. But you guys packaged
We're the
it.
first ones to put it on TV, right?
yeah.
Like, and so that's it. Like I get all the credit for being such an innovator. Like I'm not.
Well, you guys,
I came from the culture.
you
right?
did a good
Like,
job and you packaged it well. So
Yeah.
it was good. You know, Helvetica.
How about everything?
I'm proud. I'm proud of the fact that you guys have obviously come from skateboarding and you guys have gone and catapulted to another level. You know what I mean? So to see you guys in those, positions is fucking very fucking rad to see.
Yeah, I think skateboarding is such a creative breeding ground for people. It always has
Totally.
been, right? Fashion wise, you're producing something and you're
For
fucking
sure.
dying for it.
Essentially. Yeah. Mentally and physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So love it.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Hopefully you got
for coming
something
on the show.
I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place, but
No,
it's
it's great.
The only thing we're missing
Amazing.
is you singing the knife song. But listen, we're gonna
come back.
we'll come back for that.
Yeah, I'll come
well, you
back
forgot
for
your guitar.
Bring the
or
whole
whatever.
band.
Yeah. We'd like to give guests some 9 Club stuff to take home, if that's okay.
Fuck yeah,
some
I'm ready.
merch and stuff. Kelly,
Get
will
it.
you do the honors, pro?
What size?
XL, fat
XL?
guy. Fat
Yeah,
guy
got
only.
you.
Lumpy, was that it? Lumpy?
Mr. Lump.
Mr. Lump.
Yeah.
I can imagine Mr. Lump and Spike just, riding down the street together.
Like
You know,
he was tiny.
doing your thing.
Highest pitched voice you
Yeah.
ever fucking heard in your life.
Shout out Spike Jonze.
Fuck
Definitely.
Spike.
He's
Fuck
the man.
Spike.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, first of all, Jeff, dude, thank
That
you
was fun,
so
man. I
much.
love what
Hold
you
on, we're
guys
not done.
are
We're not
doing.
done. We're not
Oh,
done. We got to give you the shit. We got to give you the shit.
Oh, shit.
Almost.
No.
Almost.
This guy's trying to get out of here.
Yeah,
Trying to
he's a busy
fucking
guy.
Skedaddle. Skedaddle. No, here's a 9 Club shirt for you. Hey, this is a good one.
yeah, this is
It's about a knife. It's about
Oh, you guys
the
nice
world.
milk shirts.
So when we had Jason Leon, we made these little special shirts, limited money shirts, and then we did updated Bitcoin shirts. So that's
nice.
for you right
Fucking
there.
thanks.
You don't need the bag.
keep that, yeah.
And then a 9 Club hoodie
Oh,
right
that's
there.
what I need.
Got the hoodie, and then always stay hydrated, man. We got the Yeti
Wow.
thing here, and there it is. There it is. Huh? Beautiful.
There it
There you
is.
go. Our product model.
Yeah.
And then we just got a belt and some stickers. So next Jackass
that's
you do, you could
fucking
plant stickers all
Yeah, we
over
will.
and get us some.
We know the game.
Get us some BGPs.
I gave him the candle though too.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
We got the LD candle. It smells like grass, fresh
Feet.
cut lawn.
From getting Rick's car and he's gonna steal all this shit from me.
Hey, Rick has his own bag. You know, we've given Rick a lot of shit. You know,
He doesn't get mine.
but
You get to keep yours.
Thank
Jeff, thank you so
Love
much.
it.
This has
Yeah,
been
thank you.
amazing.
I love all the shit
Thank
you
you
put
so
up, too,
much.
man.
Yo,
This is so rad.
hey, we represent.
That's like the best cover, I think.
That was a good one. You guys killed it, man. You guys really did. Even when you guys missed a photoshopped wheel, Chris Markovich cover. That was a
I did that. That was me.
Nope.
Was it?
Wait a minute.
My bad.
So that wasn't on purpose. So that wasn't on purpose.
The wheel in the sky.
Wheel in the sky.
That's what we call it. No, it wasn't on purpose. We didn't have a cover. We fucking and it was.
but you.
Slid him over
Okay.
and forgot to move the wheel.
Oh, so you slid him over
Yeah, just
and
So
not up.
fucking good.
Over.
I thought you would had to slide him
No, he's
up
over.
to,
He's just over.
Wow.
so he would fit in the middle of the cover.
Yeah.
And you forgot to Photoshop the wheel out. Fuck. It happens.
Still.
My bad. I will never live that fucking. Mortified to this day.